This thing don't even look like it's straight. It ain't matching with the words. Wrong button. Oops. Oops. Yeah. See, like I'm missing some people. I need two more people to share it to. Couple more people to share it to. I just send it right now. Then. What's the deal? I see the little fire symbols up in there. I see the fire. I see you, Mary, in there. I see you, Mary. What you been up to? Been all right? To the fire topic. Oh yeah, good looks, man. Yeah, we about to get somewhere with this. Oops, covering stuff up. I didn't mean to do that one. Yes, we about to get somewhere with this though. I'm just trying to get this get some more people up in here. Give it some time though. If y'all can while we waiting. I guess it's only two of y'all in here. Go ahead and oh yeah, you already did it the sharing already. Okay, they already doing it already. So I'll see if y'all can give me the at least 1K for now, I guess. Or I'll get some because I just invited some of my peoples and stuff. I know they like coming in right when I gotta get off. It'd be funny. But hey, I'm gonna try to get off at 9:30 or 8 o'clock. I'm gonna get off at 8. Give me about 2 hours on here and I'm about to head. Cause I gotta go on. If I had to go to work tomorrow, I'd be on all night. But how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling anyways, by the way? Spirituality. I'm reading your anxiety support, spirituality and wellness. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Mhm. But yes, you see the topic. I'm feeling like balance. Okay. Well, I like how you're talking. I like how you're talking. Okay, I see. Uh, be more open minded. Yeah, this made me think of something because some stuff happened down in the middle of the night. I mean, not the middle of the night, the middle of the week. I mean, middle of the week made me think of this topic. That's why I be saying I be getting topics from going in other people's rooms sometimes and hear how people talking and it just pop out of nowhere. Sometimes I listen to some of my old lives and then come with topics and stuff. So, all the hidden stuff people don't like to talk about, I'm gonna talk about it. I always say if my stuff make you trigger, that means that's something that you got to work on. Because my trigger is a whole different way. Mine's got a purpose behind it. That means you got to do some more work on yourself. Some people just purposely do it on here to just get trauma exchange or something. I don't know what they do. They just do that for fun, I guess. I don't know because everybody on here hurt and don't know how to deal with it and get over it. Be crazy, man. But yeah, so yeah, I can't wait to get to this. Sometimes it's ADHD. Huh? I guess. Whatever it is, got to get fixed. Whatever it is. Because there's more things you can do for entertainment rather than sitting here on this app stressing yourself and worrying about being a troll and all this stuff. Like, what else? What you got to do with what happened to real life? It's crazy, man. People, man, but hey, everybody got their own ways of how they cope their traumas and cope they stress or whatever they got going in life. So people got to find you know, it's actually something I learned and I thought about. It's a pleasure. It's like a pleasure. It's because even like toxic stuff, people get pleasures out of that too, but don't not realizing it's hurting them more than helping them. So it's like no different from people that like looking at the movies that be looking all crazy, or the drama, or seeing people fight in the street and all that stuff. People literally get um like a pleasure out of it, or some type of, it's a feeling they get out of that stuff though. But I know when maturity comes, all that junk change though, for real. All of that change. Sometimes you go back a little bit, but then again, you just got to realize if it's really benefiting your life or not. That's what it is. But everybody just don't grow up. They stay the same way. Welcome to the live, Jaya. What's the deal? Y'all got some couple new people up there I never seen before. That's crazy.
Hey, how you doing? I was just responding to your question, what does listening to respond look like? And
Hmm.
I have to sometimes catch myself as a person who actually suffers from ADHD. Sometimes it's just like an impulsiveness to blurt out because you have all these racing thoughts,
Hmm.
and you like I notice I don't do it intentionally, but it still comes off across rude, like interrupting. So I know personally I have to, I've been working on trying to catch myself, and I can't explain. It's like a rush to blurt
Hmm.
out something really quick.
Was you always used
And
to
then
doing
that,
that?
I don't know because I don't know if I recently just became aware.
Oh,
So
you
I
been
guess I
okay.
have to
Get
ask
you.
other
You
people.
probably been doing it,
Yeah.
became aware of it.
Yeah.
But I
And you
believe
know
I
what's,
believe in life. In life, what I learned, that's what kind of changed my life. Everything is a habit. So everything is habit. Habits make your character and stuff. So it's like, the lifestyle that you choose or whatever you end up getting influenced by first, you make a habit out of it, and then it slowly start becoming you, or that you make that you out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what make your character and stuff. I kind of end up learning that from this book called Atomic Habit, that which I say that changed my life and stuff. Because I realized I can do whatever I want to do. I could be whatever I want to be, and like if I want to work hard at something, because everybody ain't got that willpower. That's what it is. But I feel like it's a muscle. Everybody can get it. So, but it's just like a habit. You got to make a habit out of it. It's like I used to be snapping and all this other stuff, but I had to keep it in my mind. Like this junk ain't. It's harming me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to just make a habit out of controlling myself. That's just it's a habit.
yeah, but I do agree. Well, two things. Like one, sometimes the listening to respond. I think it's sometimes because we are virtual. Like sometimes when you're in person, you could kind of read the person's like lips, but sometimes when we just have like our profiles on, it's real easy for us to over talk each other. But I do like your remarks about people talking about the same thing and not wanting to learn. Like I'm on this app all the time, and sometimes I may say something and it's not correct, or someone brings another perspective to my attention. I'm not afraid to be wrong, but also when people are wrong, there's no avenue for people to forgive. It's like they keep like dogging the person. Does that make sense? So that
Yeah.
people develop egos and they don't want to back down because of the shaming of someone is wrong, because sometimes people speak out of place. The cancel culture, like, is there room if someone speaks incorrectly because they're ignorant and then they want to change for people to accept them? Then I think people would be more able to accept being fault and that the ego won't come in the way. That makes sense?
I hear everything you said. It made sense. Yeah, you preaching though, for real. I'll be saying that actually because I think y'all kind of knew anyways in my life. That's the main thing. One of the main things I talk about. I talk about first emotional control, accountability, which I made that read to make sure people know about that, and then putting your ego to the side. That's like them the three things that's kind of really like damaging us when we don't get it. Or not aware of it or and got control of it. And then I'm gonna add this fourth one on it, which I noticed a lot of us had this entitlement mentality. That's what's really hurting us because we feel like we supposed to deserve this, deserve that, and this supposed to happen the way I wanted to because I put in this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to change people's mentality to be more appreciative than feeling like you deserve anything because we set ourselves up for disappointment because we feel like we deserve something or this person's supposed to be like this. It's just you got to be. It got so bad. I mean, it got so far to where I even say that like we got to even look at it like a parent don't even have to be a parent, even though we feel like a parent should be that should parent their kids, but you got to be grateful and thankful that you have good parents because every human got a mind of their own. Every human can do whatever they want, live a life the way they want to and stuff. That's why I say we got to appreciate every moment that we even wake up. You know what I'm saying? So we did. That's how I'm trying to put it out, man. Because a lot of us getting harmed by this, this entitlement mentality we have.
Yeah, and a lot of our parents, I mean, but it took me a while to get to a certain understanding. But like a lot of our parents may not have it to give it to us. So
Right.
like, if they never got the skill or training or whatever it is, they're not going to give it to you at all. I mean, just because someone is older, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're wiser or that they know more. I know for me, like in retrospect, because I ran away from home at 13.
Hmm.
And it was so hard for me, but in retrospect, I feel like God needed me to get away from those people because now that I come back and I'm around my family and I see what their thinking is, I
Hmm.
would have never been able to evolve and got to where I needed to be if I had stayed around that people. Me leaving home early allowed me to learn a lot of things that I don't think my family was capable of giving to me.
Hmm. Yeah, your parents only know what they knew at that time, man. Because that's why that's one of the main things. And I think I heard you mention that too. I used to have a live about that about grudges and forgiveness. A lot of us. That's why a lot of us can't get along. That's why a lot of us have these traumas and stuff because we never learn how to, let go of things or forgive certain things in our situation. And how I start being more forgiving of just people in general because I realized that all of us is just, all of us is humans. We all got a mind of our own. We grew up in different ways and stuff. Some people have just got taught probably negative ways and stuff. So it's like they only following suit for what they know and all that. So it's like it ain't really we can't really. I really don't know to call somebody evil or not. Or I mean, because they might have got taught it, you know what I'm saying, from just a lack of knowledge, and then a lot of people were just hurting. Everybody got their own ways how they want to express they hurt and stuff. They go, man, thing, what's the deal? Uh, so I just look at it. That's why I put my foot in other people's shoes and stuff. Because like sometimes we just don't know. We always make it seem like, well, I wouldn't do it and all that stuff, but they did. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a mind of their own. They express themselves a certain way. It's like you can't really, hold it against them. All you can do is just and not, if you believe in God or anybody. All you can do is like pray for them for real. And you got to be the bigger person sometimes. Being a bigger person and that takes putting your ego to the side. Everybody really don't got that, and then because you got to realize that, shoot, some people just ain't got it like you. So if you got enough, a mentality to let some stuff go, you know what I'm saying. That's more helpful to you, and then maybe what I'm saying. It's a lot though, but we need grace with one another to even make things happy because all of us we ain't gonna agree on everything all the time. We all got our own lifestyle. It's just all about trying to just try to understand each other and realize sometimes we gotta understand that we ain't gonna understand each other sometimes too. That's just how it is. And just love one another for just being human. That's all it is. But yeah, too much like right, I
I
guess.
agree. I
Huh?
agree because I
Yeah.
said, my bad. I just got it. But I agree because there are some people who don't understand that you all you can do is the best that you can do.
Hmm.
And they want you to go above and beyond for them, knowing that they wouldn't do that shit for you. And to me, I just feel like she said, I ran away too. So it was more like you had to I don't know. I just felt like sometimes you have to take your own journey to understand who you are.
Yeah.
Seriously. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't say it matters how young you are, but I'll say if you're a person who feel like you're around people who basically drain you, because
Hmm.
people around me, that's a problem with our community. Too many people focus on draining the next person. you want this person. It's like you love your people, right? But there's only so much you can do for your people. You're not Superman.
Right.
Because honestly, I felt like I sat up days for felt like damn. I can only give my family so much to the point where I start drowning myself trying to love on people, trying to sit up here and, help people when I need help. And I think sometimes we don't need to put more stuff on us than we can handle.
Mm-hmm. You
And
only
that's what
get
I
what you
think. Like
got.
I think a
You can
lot of
only get
people
what you got.
you try to you try to be that big sibling that sit up here and step up for all your siblings. You try to sit up here and even be that parent to some of your siblings, knowing that you can't, like, not saying that you can't, but you not supposed to be in that position because it's supposed to be a parent's responsibility, not the big sibling responsibility of your other siblings. But sometimes life will put you in that position, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like to get our people to come together, we gotta actually be on one accord. Too many
Yeah.
men and women thinking, "Oh, I don't gotta listen to you. I don't gotta sit up
Ego.
here and you'll take a man's mindset and sit up here and play with that shit." Because to me, it's like if I trust a man to lead, I'm expecting him to do, what he got to do for us, not what you got to do for everybody else, but what you got to do for us. And I'm not going to go against that because I trust you to be the man that I know you can be,
Mm-hmm.
or that I know you are. And a lot of people lost trust in people nowadays to where you don't want to trust nobody. You don't want to be around nobody. And the fact that we got to get back to a place where we like being around each other. We can actually talk to each other. You know, it got to be a certain type of mindset behind that shit. That's why I was like when we was in I don't know who live we was in, but he up here talking about solutions. Well, give me some. Give me some solutions. You feel like you want to build this fucking black empire? Give me some solutions.
Right.
And if you know people who will invest in the process and put their energy into the process, let's start with those people that's willing. We can't start with everybody because everybody ain't gonna want to take the time out their day to do that shit. You need to find people who want to put in the time to build back our community, to build our children mindsets up, to build our women and men mindsets back up in
Right.
their spirit.
But I also feel too that like force. I always talk
What's
about
up, Kev?
force versus
What up,
like
man?
flow. Meaning like it also has to reach a point like when I come on TikTok, like the speaking points are like it's just the same conversations like every single day. And it's like at some point in time I feel like we also have to accept the reality of certain situations and just kind of move past that, if that makes sense. I always talk about force and flow are two different things. Sometimes you can't force or debate someone into position because it's kind of using force. It should be a natural flow and progression. And
Mm-hmm.
and when you do use force to get people to agree with you or try to get your point across, like what is it worth, at the end of the day?
Right.
And that's what I am with these lives. Sometimes with the TikTok lives, I get sucked in, but then I move because I feel like we're frozen on the same speaking point.
Right. And it ain't gonna. And if you do it that way, it just ain't gonna be genuine if you force it. So I get you. Got to be somebody that's willing. That's actually on, that's able to take a situation on and stuff. But with me, I'm.
Yeah, I don't like
It,
people on this some that's on this side
huh?
because people be definitely trying to force their. I was about to say she right. People definitely on this side be trying to force their opinions and project what happened to them on other people. I don't like that. Like don't force your that because I don't agree with what you're saying. That doesn't mean that what you're saying stand on what you believe, but don't try to force your opinions down my throat.
Ain't
Like I don't
nobody can
like
do
people like that.
anything though. That's why I got a low tolerance on that actually. Especially as long as I've been on this app doing these lives and stuff, I start realizing like some people you just can't talk to. It just is what it is. And some people gonna have their messages as much as we want to get mad at it or not, they got their mind made up already. So I just rather move on, find somebody that's at least on the same, same journey as me or somebody that's trying to look for some type of, solution. I know everybody got their own way of solution, but trying to look for something because yeah, I'm even done with like people that they be coming with this like with the topics, right? It's always something just a trauma, and I just thought about this. I don't know if I made this word up. It might be before this trauma exchange. Like they be just trying to, you know, put a whole topic up just to fight with one another and still have no solution at the end. That junk is crazy. I'm like, I said, it's no
Hmm.
point. My thing is, if I'm about to debate with somebody or go back and forth with somebody, it's some type of solution I want at the end of it, or some type of understanding, so we can move on and get somewhere else, to the next thing. So, because most of the stuff is just to basically spread it to the next people, because a lot of us just lost. A lot of us don't know we need help and we do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be still trying with certain people. Like if I do, try to give them a better way, because I've been trying to focus my life on trying to be more optimistic and stuff, because that's what a lot of us need to look at stuff in a positive way, because there's negative and positive in this world. You got a choice of which side you want to look at it. I mean, because both of them is legit. Both of them is right. It's just a way of living. It's no such thing as a perfect world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we can change our mindsets and look at things and try to motivate one another and all this stuff, we can get somewhere. And like I said, the key thing, what I noticed with this unity thing, is really is grace. The lack of grace, that's the main thing. Like we gotta, because we not gonna always understand each other sometimes, but it's just like we can't be sitting here and getting mad at one another because somebody disagree and cussing each other out and all that stuff. We'll never get anywhere. It'll be back to point zero again. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one of the main things. We just got to realize that you a different human, I'm a different human. Well, we got to figure something we can be similar with rather than different, because everybody always be looking at difference. You ain't struggle as bad as I struggle. Like, what is all this stuff? What are we getting to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never get this. You're not as bad as me. You're not as strong as me. But what solution we going to get to at the end? Like, what's the point? We always go to competition, all that stuff, but that does nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to talk about things that's going to make us move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Or at least try to get a mindset ready for the youth. You know what I'm saying? We done lived a little bit of our life and stuff, but at least have the next generation has something to look forward to. Since everybody want to complain about the next generation though, but ain't doing nothing about it. And
Exactly.
then not you know what I'm saying? It started from somewhere. That's why I'd be like, dog, how can a parent say something about a child and you don't raise them? That makes no sense. Oh, they just in their phones and stuff, but who gave them the phone? They just in this, all this stuff.
Exactly.
Like you allowing all this stuff though. So it's like this should be crazy to me. What's the deal, BK, my brother?
Like that's crazy.
It's in the design. I'll be honest with you.
Hmm.
It's not just social media. It's media in general. You have to understand bad publicity, bad things happening. That gets a lot more traction than positive work. And
Yeah.
on social media, the traction of I want to say hate. It's not really hate, but again, it's like trauma exchange, like you said. That gets a lot more traction. For some reason, people gravitate to people's anger, to people's bad intent, to people's unwillingness to change. They gravitate to that. They want to see how bad it can get. It gets a lot more traction than good works. I mean, you don't watch the news to see something good reported. You watch the news to see how bad it gets. And
You're right.
and this is social media. This is social media. This is worse. This is better and worse than the news because every interaction is live in your face. It's not recorded, and the
Mhm.
live action vitriol is gold.
Yeah. I know the reason why behind that though, because the thing is, that's why negative is so easy to attract to, or toxicness, because everybody on this earth has been hurt. That's just part of life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on this earth been hurt and stuff. So a lot of people did not find a way to escape it. You know what I'm saying? They never find an escape, so they're gonna find some way to relate to it though. So that's so easy to attract to toxic stuff or negative stuff, because that's how you looked at. I mean, it was a certain points in your life that you got, hit with that toxic stuff, or it's just the view of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe a lot of us start off pessimistic, right? I had a live about that some month, but maybe a month ago or something like that. But I think the
Yeah, that
goal is
was
to
a
try to be
fact.
more optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to be like, dang, what's gonna go wrong, and fearing this and having no hope and all this stuff. But it do take a lot of willpower and self motivation and even just understanding yourself to even to look at the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? To realize that you got to be more appreciative because things could have got worse. I mean, it's so much, but it take a lot though. It take a strong person. That's why I be saying that, and it's a true statement. No matter how we want to look at it, that's why I be done going against certain people because I realize that quote or whatever they said. Only the strong survive. That's like real talk. So if you ain't trying to get your mind right and you want to stick on your wants rather than your needs and all this stuff because you want to go with your desires and all this stuff, you're gonna get left behind. You're gonna be that same person that's still complaining on the next app and the next app or the next situation, whatever, the next relationship, you're taking the same old thing, the same energy, and you just gonna be a miserable person. That's just how it is because you never took the time because it's so boring, right? It's so boring to fix yourself. It's so boring to, you know, to change your mentality because it's so we love being us. Since we say I'm just being me, you know what I'm saying? That's everybody's stuff. I'm just being me. They ain't, can't really change that stuff. But that's where that ego come in at. Because if you ain't good enough for just to progress in this world or progress just in life, that means you got to change you. But I guess that's too much. That's a trigger thing to just self anyway. So, but people gonna get left behind because some people took that sacrifice. Like, you know what? I do got to put a lot of these wants and there's a lot of childish ways and this teenage mentality up so I can be able to make it in this world or adapt to it rather than just complain about it all my life. But everybody ain't meant to wake up, man.
Hey, real shit. Cause there is also like I agree, like the industry shit. I believe shit. That's what destroying most of our fucking people is looking at that damn television, looking at your phone. Because I don't know, I didn't have that shit back then. Like when I was a kid, I was just running around like the neighborhood, my grandma, and she over here chilling with her sisters and they peoples. We all outside with having barbecues. Like people don't even go outside no more. People don't even go outside. They'll sit in their house and be up on the internet or have your kid on your phone. And you wondering why kids are unaliving their parents nowadays because they having too much access to technology. They having
Right.
too much access to, being exposed to, sexual stuff that we wasn't normally exposed to because,
Right.
they had the rainbow come on the screen like when I was a kid. This when gargoyles and shit was popping to me.
All I knew was reading
Um,
rainbow. They done changed the whole definition of today.
yeah.
Say you ain't reading, you about to watch the rainbow.
Like you up here sitting up here trying to live up to Cardi B and Sexy Red and all these type of
Right.
people, and you're not even realizing that. Even you seen? Did y'all recently see Jimmy Butler?
What about him?
No.
Maybe I don't need
Okay,
to
so
know about it.
right now he's walking around with a female hairstyle.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
he got
seen
like
that. I think I seen that.
and to me, people don't realize that is a form of backbreaking to like because they got you doing all this feminist stuff in order for you to actually get to the next level. Like to me, I believe that there's some people out there that sell they soul and for that extra money or that extra fame and you're basically sacrificing certain people around you. I do believe in that type of stuff, and I
I want to
also
say,
think that.
sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Dante. You can rock.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I'm a parent. I mean, and this is an example of what happened to me today, believe it or not. My youngest son is 11, and he was invited to go to a basketball game with one of his younger friends. And he was like, my friend said, I said, okay, I get the kid language, I understand, but I don't want to talk to a kid. I want your friend to pull up with their parents, an adult. I want them to look me in my eye and tell me where you're going, what time you're coming back. Is my son going to be safe? And the mother said to me, well, you can have your son call. I was like, listen, in my house, no kid is allowed a telephone until they're 12 years old. I have six
Mm.
kids. Not a single kid in my house is allowed a phone until 12 years old. I mean, to me, the responsibility of how your child is raised and what inputs they have, especially at that age, is the parent. And
Fact.
if you can't control the input that your child has at 1 through 12, then there is a problem.
The lazy parenting answer.
You can't blame every interaction the child has outside of the house on environment or on the school when they haven't been informed. They haven't been trained or disciplined enough to understand what they're going to run into is what happens in somebody else's house. That what happened in school. But in my house, under my rules, that shit don't fly.
Right. Gotta set some boundaries, but I think a lot of people just wasn't meant to have. I mean, not have, but wasn't ready for it. That's what it is. So they still, it's
Don't get
kids
me
that been
wrong,
having kids lately.
I wasn't ready to be a parent either. Believe it or not, being a parent is not something that anyone is ready for because
I
it's
feel
a
you on
You
whole
that.
don't
new life
plan it.
experience.
You don't
I
It's
plan
a
feel
for
you
whole
on
it
new
that.
life
at certain
experience.
age.
Every child has a different interaction. Every child has a different personality. No child wants to be their parent, but at the same time, the parent is trying to guide them to be better than they were. I mean, there's no book. I mean, as many books
It
as
ain't.
there are out there, there is no book that can train you on how to be a parent.
Nope. And then it changes for each kid too. So I already know every experience gonna be different. Even a parent can't really tell another parent to how to parent. All you can tell is the basics. Even the basics gonna be in a book though, but the experience
Hmm.
gonna be different. Which I'm fully aware. People be trying to tell me that I'm like I ain't got no kids, but I'm aware of how life go though. But like, dog, some of this stuff just be common sense. But whatever, common sense ain't common though. But yeah, I do. I feel you
Yeah, I
on
don't
that
like
too.
that neither.
I feel you on
I don't
that.
like that either. I don't like it when people tell me, "Oh, you don't got kids, so you can't tell me about kids." Motherfucker, I can tell you how to treat the next human
I was
being
a
because they
kid
still
before.
people.
The heck?
Yeah, I was a kid and I was watching my own siblings. Like, are you crazy?
That's that ego, though. That's what I'm just saying. It's ego. Everybody, as long as they got a power over something or whatever, they want to, and ain't nobody, nowadays, people not trying to hear each other anyway. So they're going to find any way to invalidate what you're saying rather than hear you because they looking like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? But I can feel it. Sometimes it's the defense mechanism because a lot of us do have,
Hmm.
sometimes it can be biases, but sometimes we got to try to break out of it because it is like a defensive type thing because what's the chances of somebody that don't have kids gonna know anything about it? You know what I'm saying? So who gonna take that chance? But sometimes, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. And then again, you can't. Sometimes some people have it and they ain't got good advice either. But it's really a gamble though. But
Yeah,
I can understand why they be like that. Huh?
everybody's parenting method isn't for everyone. I mean, one
Exactly.
parenting
That
method
too.
isn't the same for
Yep.
everyone. So it's hard to, and I'm not defending the people that just don't want to listen, but here's the thing, it's really hard to take advice from another parent when you don't have the same child. So they
Facts.
don't have the same personality. They don't have the same quirks. And you are not the same person. So I can't treat my child the way you treat your child because I'm not you.
Hmm.
I mean, parenting is an individual experience. It is a growth process as much as the child is growing. So it's really hard to take advice from someone. I mean, it's hard to take advice from a mother who was church bound and was super strict in the church thing and try to enforce that on my children because that's not the way that I think. That's not the way that they evolve. So I have to adjust my parenting method to meet the needs of my children. And
Right.
that's the same for everyone. Everybody's parenting methods and the need to parent in a way that is not harmful, not abusive, is is a fine line. And some people cross it and even don't even know they do.
Hmm. It even be like marriage. People be saying they swear you can't tell me anything if you ain't been married and all that stuff. All you can, my thing is, that's people don't like when I say that. All you can tell is about what you do with your husband or your wife. You know what I'm saying? That's all you can tell about. Because like your stuff is not the king of all relationships. You know what I'm saying? Every relationship is different, just like every kid is different, all that stuff. So the fact we be trying to validate each other so fast on different things and swear that somebody else know what they talking about and the other one don't, that's gonna be funny to me because they don't mean that their method is gonna work for you. You know what I'm saying, or the opposite way. So I don't know. It's gonna be funny to me. But it was something I'm about to say, but all that stuff was dealing with ego. But I guess what's the deal? BK in the building, my brother.
What's up? I'm just listening. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what y'all are saying is absolutely correct because when I had mine and no one told me how to raise my kid. You know what I mean? It's all about trial and error. You know what I mean? You know if something harms your child, you know not to do it. You know what I'm saying? Something that you feel like that is harming, you won't do it. You know what I mean? So no, everybody can't give advice on how to raise kids. And as y'all was saying, every child is different. Every situation is different. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But at the same time, if if someone can give you the basic of how to raise a child, I don't think there's a problem. You know what I mean? But don't put your feelings into it. Don't put your ego into it. Well, you better do this right here. If you don't do this right here, you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Don't do that because that's how you push people away. You know what I mean? Just listen to them
Right.
to understand. Give them a sound advice the best way you can. I mean,
Right, I can give a person. I mean, I don't mind taking ideas from somebody on what they did
true.
for a situation, and then adjusting them to the child that I have. But
Right.
I'm not literally going to take what you
Every
say
word.
verbatim and apply it because it may not work.
True.
It may not work not just because of the child. It may not work because that's not the mindset that I'm in raising my child.
Yeah. I look at like even with stuff like that, marriages or type of children, it's like some of this stuff is like a regular with certain things, advice is just advice, right? Some stuff
Hmm.
is like a human thing, right? I think because every human got something. Like it's like I said, if you seen, some people have actually seen a successful relationship, right? That's how people like. If you observant, it's some stuff everybody can say though. I don't think a lot of people is observant; they just live a life or whatever. But if you had, especially if say if your parents was a successful, married together and all that stuff, and you never been married, but you can be able to tell about how they kept their stuff together, how is that not valid? You know what I'm saying? But I just never
Hmm.
understood that. And then like even with it, you know, about the kids though, you used to be a kid, but you know what was your parents was doing right and wrong or something like that, and you could just tell them like, hey, that kind of ain't work. You know what I'm saying? For me, no different. You know what I'm saying? It's no different. That's why I be saying that. But like I said, I understand. Of course, people we gonna have our biases because it's a safety thing. You know what I'm saying? It's less likely or this. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not have especially the same mentality and stuff like I've been mentioning in like the last couple of days. I gotta be talking to myself like everybody don't got the same mentality as you, so you gotta think about the masses. So I do understand why a person wouldn't take advice from a person that have no kids or a person that's single. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I get it in that way. So
What's up, y'all?
yo,
Hey,
What's up?
Touche in the
I
Touche.
say
building.
this is how we do it. It's
On
Friday
Saturday night,
night.
Friday night. Oops, my bad. Oops.
Talking about Saturday night.
Yes,
I know I
Friday.
skipped the whole day and
Who
stuff.
said
And
that?
I feel alright. Cause I'm
Party down on the
on
west
the
side.
west side. But no, what's the deal,
This dude
y'all?
always got me in here singing and stuff.
Look, at least it's better than sitting here coming here. Kev, you're wrong. You're wrong, Kev.
Yeah,
You're
we just
wrong.
gonna get there though. Just warming you up, oiling
Nah,
you up
nigga.
right quick.
Nah, you ain't buttering me up, big dog. No
Get
butter
you
up
nice and
over
soft. Now
here.
you're wrong.
Nah, you're wrong. No butter
What's
up
the deal,
over here.
Mr. P in the building? I see you, man. Oh, we about
I
to get
feel
something
like,
going, man.
but I
I
don't
got
mean
an
to,
hour and a
I
half
gotta
for
come
y'all
in with
before I
good
gotta go to.
energy. Be more open minded. I think everybody should be open minded. Everybody is
Mm-hmm.
a sponge. You can never not learn enough.
Mm-hmm.
People claim they don't know everything and act unteachable at the same time. Why is that? Ego.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
People who claim that they can't learn anything, man, you know you can't. Nah, bro, your ego. You think you got it all, and it not, like you can speak from experience, but you don't got it all. Um, ego plays a part. I think your ego play a part. I don't think it's the fear of being wrong, though. I don't think it's you fear being wrong because I think some people just think that they really right and they think that they done some of the necessary steps to be right, and sometimes I think they kind of miss it by a couple of meters. Sniper talk. What does listening to respond look like? If you listening to respond, that means you are not thoroughly letting the person finish and land a plane, right? So if I'm in the middle of saying something and you immediately like, yeah, but you're not listening to understand. You listening to just respond to me because that's why you cutting me off.
Oh, I got a lot of examples of listen to respond. It's more than just, but I feel you though. It's a
Yeah, so
lot of.
that's why I think that when you talk for understanding, like you really sit back there and you let them finish. I know sometimes it may come off like, oh, I thought they was done. Yeah, because everybody be taking them long pauses. Like, yeah, so by the way that yeah, and then they'd be like, but I gotta finish. But it'd be like, bro, was you done or are you not done? Like, So I think that's a difference too, because a lot of the time I feel like a lot of people just be talking and they be like waiting and they think that you done, and then sometimes it'll be like,
Man, they
oh
be getting
well.
towed up
Well,
on them
We
wrong.
jumped earlier
to
with people
add
like
on,
that. Yeah.
yeah, it's to add on what you said, Touche. I mean, a lot of that got to do with their patience. Nobody's patient.
Okay.
Everybody's want
Mm-hmm.
to get their point across. Everybody want to be heard. Everybody want to be seen instead of just having patience to listen, regardless of whether a person take a long pause. Is just being patient because everybody has their opinion about something. When
I
you're not able, and when people are not listening, it's always a yeah, but you add that but to it, they ain't trying to understand. They're trying to just find something to respond to.
well,
You know
Mm.
what I mean?
I'm gonna say I agree with you up until the last part, because a but sometimes I don't think it's always like a but like for an excuse. I think it's like a look at this side though. You get what I'm saying? In some scenarios, it's situational, because see, like I said, because it's this kind of like similarity to but, like the similarity to but, like if you say because you're about to give a reason or another side of another viewpoint, right? But I don't think it's always to not like understand the point. I think it's always like I get what you're saying, but look at it on this hand. If you get what I'm saying, you kind of like y'all get me.
Okay.
Yeah, you make sense. You make sense.
But
Like you
I
just
I
want to
think
mean,
see
there's
I,
a
from another
difference.
point of view. The person just want to see
I,
from another perspective.
yeah, they gonna give you that point of view, of course. But when someone is not listening, when they're not listening to you, they'll say yeah, but not try to add on more stuff. They would say, listen, check this out. This how my opinion, they're gonna give you that. They're gonna give you their opinion, their viewpoint. When they add you know what, and they're gonna over talk you, try to get that, yeah, but you don't know this, is this, they ain't gonna say it in that way, but they're gonna always say, yeah, but
See,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but BK,
See?
see, see,
See what I'm saying?
you
See
see
what
what I
I'm
did?
saying? You ain't listen to
You see what I
you
did there?
listen to
See what I did there?
respond.
You see what I did
Yeah,
there? You see
yeah.
what I did
I
there?
knew this was gonna happen
I mean,
today because people gonna do
yeah,
it. Now we gonna be on tip.
So, but that's the
you
thing
know what I
too.
mean?
What we have to understand is that people have they verbiage. Your verbiage when you talk to people, you have to kind of figure out which works for that person. Like I said yesterday, I don't mind being wrong, right? Like me being wrong doesn't make or break me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. And like I told y'all before, that I was talking to a woman and she was like, my feelings, my feelings, my feelings. And I was like, but logic, but logic, but logic. And I was like, was I really wrong? No. But here we go. Listen, y'all hear this? I didn't feel I was wrong, but I did feel like, oh, I didn't take this person's feelings into consideration. And when you care about people, you kind of gotta like work on. All right, who do I do? Do I be blunt with you, or do I kind of like find a nicer way to say what I need to say? You get what I'm saying? It's just learning it, man. The word playing a lot of stuff. It can cause somebody to be really defensive. Like
Mm,
it can like I know when my mom like used to talk to me, her wording would be like, I need to defend myself. And I know that she don't, like, now that I'm older, I know she wasn't coming from a place of harm, but her approach was like, whoa, your approach cannot work. Me and Kev have many times had bumped our heads and said the same thing. And they'd be like, Kev, your approach is just like, yo, like, come on. And he'd be like, yeah, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna say it this way, and if they don't like it, oh well, this is the target audience. You know, I'll be like,
Why do
oh,
I sound worse and worse the more you imitate me? That gonna be crazy.
you know what I'm saying?
Every time you come back in the live, you make me sound worse.
I mean, Kev, you are
I,
not
I,
the worst. There is someone worse than
And
you.
I think the
So you
distinction
feel
is
like
between
people
hearing and
deliberately
listening.
off.
Yes, I agree. Hearing and listening is definitely a thing, but
it's the
first,
reception too, right?
first somebody has to hear you before they begin to listen. It's
See,
a step.
okay, I'm not going to say but. I'm just going to say the
No,
distinction
go
to
ahead and
me,
say it. Go ahead and say it.
the
We on tip
distinction,
today. It's a wrap. I already knew how this
yeah,
live
I
was
know,
gonna
I
go.
see this.
Because
The
taking folks,
distinction between hearing and listening is when you hear someone, the sound and the words are just echoing through your mind. You're not really paying attention until you find the point in what you're hearing to break it and plug your thought process. Listening is digesting what they have to say and trying to resonate with what they're trying to get across and then responding. I think the distinction is between hearing and listening when you're communicating with someone.
oh, all right. So how I see it, because I'm not gonna say but, because I know that's what y'all waiting on. Y'all waiting on but. How I see it is, listen, the first thing that has to
I
happen
ain't
is for
waiting
me
on
to
no
even,
butt, buddy.
and no, this is how I see it. You have to hear something, and then you got to hone in to listening into actually what's being said, right? I can hear everything around me. I can hear this fan blowing. I can hear my PlayStation start up, but listening to it is like, oh, my fan is on this, or my fan is at the highest speed, or my PlayStation it just is running. I can hear the air flowing from it. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I'm like it's a step. Like everybody can hear you, but everybody's not listening to you. You get what I'm saying? Like if
Mhm.
Kev go outside with a microphone and say the world is gonna end tomorrow, they hear Kev, but they're not listening to Kev.
There you go.
You're
I
gonna
heard you
try.
cashing that stuff, and I was like, whoever sending that, whoever seeing something, I heard you real loud sitting there exchanging your chain. It's a ching. But yeah, let
But
me
you know,
get. I.
go ahead, Kev.
So uh, let me see. I guess I do it then. I do it for now. Then I go see what y'all gonna say. I usually do go last, but I'm gonna go because I got a bunch of things with listen respond. So with the
Yeah,
be
me
more
too.
open minded, hi.
I said, so do I. Like,
Boy, I got a
go
list
ahead.
of stuff. Right, we about to see if we can add to it because I feel like it's a way more than just one. But yeah, but it's like let me stop. But about to butt my butt. Now everybody about to watch it. Be more open minded, man. That's why I feel like a lot of us we need to do that, man. But everybody don't know what it is. We too stubborn for that, and it just sounds like everybody got their own definition of that too. My definition of how I figured out what open minded is like you basically open to be wrong. That's how I look at it. Open to be wrong at any moment because like basically it's like not you don't have to be stern in everything because it's possibilities that it could be wrong. That's just all I'm saying. That's why I look at open mindedness and willing to listen to the next situation rather than putting your ego in the way to not being receptive. But people claim they don't know everything and act unteachable at the same time. So yeah, I be feel like a lot of people, what's the deal? Peacock in the building. My eyeballs is watching too. I seen your name when you came in here. You go ahead and do your dirt. But anyways,
Hold on.
but
Can I?
a lot of people, what'd you say? Somebody say something?
Oh, I was about to say, just
What?
I was about to say, open-minded people don't care to be right. They just care to be understood.
That's a
I don't know about that. I think it's the opposite. I always tell people to try to understand people rather than being understood. I think that should be what our goal, to try to understand who we talking to, who we around and all that stuff. 'Cause,
so
I care.
oh, I'm sorry, Kev.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I said to her statement. I feel like, can you say it one more time for me, just so I don't butcher it?
I, I said, when I think of open-minded people, that I don't think open-minded people care to be right. They just care to be understood and understanding.
Yeah. So to me, I think that's emotional intelligence, right? Because they think it more like think on a level of emotions of human emotions. So I think that is more like a human emotional thing, and I don't think it's wrong. I think it's just right. I mean, it's that's their world that they live in. Um, a lot of the time, like Kev just said earlier, when I first got in here. A lot of people you can help with saying certain stuff, and a lot of people you got to realize you can't help them. They in their own world of bubbles with people, and some people are just in a different bubble. You gotta gravitate toward the people that are like you, and a lot of the time it's kind of hard because, like I said, you don't want to not care about everybody, but you want to understand, like, man, I care about everybody, but these people is more on my level
Gotta
of
know
what
your
I
limits.
yeah, they on what I need to be on.
Yep.
It's the same thing as growing. Like I want to live to be 60 years old, and I want to be a person who own a company. So I have to be, around people who have had companies or have the mindset of of owning a business, or if they don't even have it anymore, they had it so they can teach me. And I think everybody just needs to gravitate towards their people, but they gotta also have that human decency to know that people have emotions and feelings. I mean, we were created off of them. So, yeah, you can't bypass that.
Man, forget that. I disagree with that part. Feelings is holding us back more than anything. But and I ain't no but. I just said, just said I. But
Too late. We caught you. We caught you. We got you. We got you.
Your ass nigga.
yeah, I know. I was saying but on purpose on that
You was red-handed. I see you.
one. So with the people claim that they don't know everything and that gonna teach, but at the same time, we are. I think I'm pretty sure a lot of us know that or hear that too. Um, because it'd be like, especially if we get to if somebody younger than us, or if I got a degree or something like that, you know what I'm saying? I know about the degree, but but yet I don't know everything though. But you can't tell me anything because I'm always right. You know what I'm saying? People that's like that, we already know to deal with that though. So I ain't gonna expound on that. I'm trying to get to my best part at the end. But how much does ego play a part with fear? With the fear of being wrong? I say, I say about 80%, maybe I would say. Maybe it's some other reasons for other that, but most of the time I think it's the ego. It might be, I don't know what the other one. I feel like it's something else, but I'm not thinking about it right now because I
Wait,
got the
say that
rest of
again,
this.
Kev. Say that again, because I think I might know what you're talking about. Say
I,
that last part again.
I feel like ego is at least 80% of the reason why that plays a part of why people not trying to be more open minded, or they fear to being wrong,
I would
being scared of
contest
being wrong.
that to you being. I would contest that to being more 70-ish percentage.
Okay. That's what I said. It's something else. It's some stuff I missed. And I know what it is, though. I know it's something. It's more than just ego. So it might be some. Dang, even competition got to do with ego. Maybe it's. I can't say fear because I just said fear. Um.
Yeah, I think
A
it's
lot of
Being
the
forced
time.
to do something, so you can't like feel like you gonna let something down. Maybe disappointment. Oh, disappointment could be another thing, right? Why they don't want to be wrong. Because they ain't got nothing to do with ego. It's just you don't want to be like let somebody down, or like a family or a culture or something like that. I don't know, something like that. So it's most stuff I just can't think of it right now. But I know. So I say 70, and whatever the other stuff is, fill in a
I mean,
blank if somebody else thinking about it right
So
now.
you think that it's ego driven?
I think no, the reason why people are scared to fear to be wrong, yeah, I think that's 70%, yeah. 70%
I
ego
think it's
most of the time
higher.
with everybody.
Okay,
Huh?
I'll take that. I'll take that.
It's
All
higher.
right.
I think it's higher. I would say it's like 90%.
I was trying not to push it that far, but I'm trying to leave a little leeway. But I feel you said 90 dang.
I think it's more. I think I would swap ego with 30% and say it's pride and why people don't want to be wrong because people that have a.
Exactly.
Same
I
thing.
think
Same
no,
thing.
but no, I think pride and ego. I think
Mm-mm.
it's kind of different. Like people
Mm-hmm.
are very
How?
prideful, right?
Pride
Like
come
that's.
with. I mean, you gotta have ego. I mean, well, it's ego is like. I mean, I think pride is 100% ego. Wait, hold on. Let me think about this over. I think.
I think it's
Let me
prideful,
see.
right? I think
Pride
it's.
Ego.
to me, pride is when a person sits up here and basically
I love
like
that topic. Okay, you
they
feel me?
can't get it they can't get it through their fucking mind that oh
I'm wrong, or I lost, or
Pr-
I
yeah,
like.
I'm about to say pride. Now you think I talk about it this way. Okay, ego. ego is not 100% pride, but a pride is 100% ego. So that's why I just overall the ego.
I need you to Google that. I need you to Google that for me to give me the
Yeah.
facts.
I'm not saying it's the
Hold
same
on, let
meaning,
me
but I'm saying it's ego all behind pride to even be
because
prideful.
because but no, this is what I kind of agree, but I kind of disagree, right? And the reason
You ever heard
But
because listen, I
you
think
ever heard someone mother say, "Oh, I got."
am I
I'm
delayed?
them
sorry.
bars get me.
Am I delayed? Oh,
No,
it's
it's
the
her.
car.
She delayed. She got them
Oh,
2 bars.
yeah, I think it's
I'm
more
sorry.
I hear you
like
now.
no,
So you said something about the mother. You had to end up cutting out.
I just want to be loved.
Right, we gotta sing and stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Y'all hear me?
Every day for yeah, we can hear
Is
you
you
now.
back? There's muted and she's saying, what the freak is going on?
Man, TikTok got you in a headlock right now.
Boy. They said we listen to the response like the uh
Oh,
well
drop down.
Okay, I
Got
got
you.
the definition of pride up in front of me. You want me to read it to you?
Yes,
go
please,
ahead.
please.
All right, the quality or state of being proud, such as reasonable self-esteem, confidence, and satisfaction in oneself.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Now I'm gonna pull up ego and check that one. Give me a
Okay.
Okay.
minute.
I appreciate you, bro, because I think people when people are upset about being wrong or losing, that's pride. Like they pride is kind of like damage,
Yeah.
right?
And
Because I think pride is that competitiveness in you to be the best, right? And sometimes, and I think pride is one of those words that we look at as a negative word simply because it's also in the Bible, and they say that it's a part of the 7 deadly sins.
so I'm put it this way. But like I said, the same it is different things, but what I'm saying is pride, stubbornness, uh
Well, stubbornness is an overall
oh
negative.
yeah, yeah. I'm just saying all that stuff is ego all behind it to keep you in that way. That's what it is. I'm saying the support all that stuff is supported by ego. That's all I'm getting to about that. Because the ego is the source of
Okay,
why people are so prideful. The ego is the source of why people so stubborn. You know what I'm saying? Like ego is
I'm gonna
it's
give
like
you
the
the
base of that
definition in
whole
front of me.
situation. Why people stuck
Sorry.
be that
You
way.
got the. Well, go ahead, Porter. What's the
Yeah,
definition of ego?
I was about to say the
ego
same
is
thing.
the self, especially as contrast with another self or the world's. And then it has A, egotism, and then it has B, self-esteem. So it's more of a psychological meaning than it is a defined meaning in comparison to
Pride.
pride.
Uh huh.
Right.
I mean, self-esteem was both used in both words, so
Yeah.
I can see how it could be a little bit of both, but I don't think that they both correlate.
Can, can I give an example?
This
Yes.
okay, go ahead.
Basically, the dude I had a dude I was with, and he was very like suicidal like, and basically, Dante background.
Who that all right, somebody's up. Yeah,
Oh
everybody
yeah,
mute her real quick.
somebody background is
Oh,
on.
Dante is Dante.
sorry
Oh,
about that.
oh
Sorry.
they good,
Yeah,
bro.
you're you're yeah, he was very like his pride couldn't let him like do certain things. Like he was walking around neighborhood and telling his friends, "Oh yeah, bro, it's my last day. I'm about to go. I'm about to take myself out." And I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute." And it was all because he felt like he was out of prison and doing so good, and nobody was giving him the acknowledgement of his good doing. And basically, he felt like, damn, like I'm not getting no points. Mom's still tripping on me, even though I'm throwing her money and she don't gotta ask. But he just felt like, damn. And then he up here telling me, you don't understand when I had specifically told him, I said, I understand. It's your pride that's getting at you. You've been feeling like you've been sitting up here being that man, been helping your family, being that brother, and nobody is up here showing you no type of appreciation for that shit. So it's like his self-esteem was getting to him to the point where he wanted to hurt himself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew it was serious because he cut all his dreads off that he was growing for 3 years, and he cried to his mother for 2 hours, cried to his mom. And you got to realize this man was like probably like 20, somewhere between 23, 24.
Uh huh.
And to me,
Oh,
that weighs on the person when you're not getting that support. You're not feeling like, oh, everything that you do good, you getting down talked on, and that shit fucking with your ego.
So am I? Let me just say this, right?
dang! I want to
I don't.
hurry up and hit this real quick.
I just want to say this. I think his pride was bruised because he wasn't getting those brownie points, which made his ego come out. You
Uh,
get what I'm? Maybe I'm maybe.
Perfectly said.
I want
Perfectly
to I
said.
want to I
no,
want to
let me
contest
say.
that
Let me just do
actually.
it real quick because it's eating at me. I'm about because I just while she was saying it, I just thought about it. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to show y'all that ego is what keep this stuff going. Because pride is a feeling. It's a feeling just like jealousy, love, and all that stuff. All that stuff is temporary. Feelings are temporary, right? So in order to keep pride going, you would have to have an ego to extend that. That's just what it is. That's what I mean about that's the source of what keeps it stuff going. Just like ego is what keep us stubborn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ego is what keep a lot of that stuff or prolong certain situations. Ego is what keep us having grudges. You know what I'm saying? Why we don't want to be forgiven. You know, so ego is literally the source to a lot of these things. The reason why we stay in certain ways and stuff. That's all I'm getting to.
So
Without that, it's like it would be a quick feeling. You can have a pride
ego to
moment,
you is you being
but
stuck.
huh?
Ego to you is being stuck in your ways that
I
you
think.
can't
Um,
I
get
think.
out of.
I think ego is being stuck in like whatever emotion that you felt at that time, right? So he lacked. To me, he lacked getting his brownie points, which hurt his pride, which kept him in that emotion, and his ego kept him in there. You get what I'm saying?
mhm.
Like like pride is the like his pride was bruised. So therefore he felt like he had to do something to that's why his ego kept him in that emotional state to chop his hair off, cry. Like his ego kept him there. I think your ego is like what holds you in a not allowing you to go forward when you get
And
into
it's
an
so
argument.
crazy. After that, he ended up going to rob someone's house, and the person was home, and they basically got him for 2 kidnappings and 3 robberies, and now he's doing 20 years. And this was when I was probably like 19 years old.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, can you see how that kind of like it triggered a domino effect? His pride was hurt, so therefore, the emotion that he had after his pride being hurt, he couldn't let go and move forward from because his ego wouldn't allow it.
Right. You
Yes.
see what I'm saying? That's
But
that's what I'm
I'm
but
getting
they not.
to.
contesting that.
But
Ego prolongs the situation. That's what I'm meaning.
but they not the same.
Of
They
course,
come.
they're not the same, but that's what I was saying. I wasn't going. That's the reason why I didn't mention pride earlier because I'm saying if the source is the ego that make it, that make it extended. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just saying that was. I just went to the basically the source. That's all I was going to. Because even but behind pride is still ego.
No, no, I'm gonna disagree.
I mean, they're
Okay.
close in line because
They,
ego
they,
is to protect yourself. Ego is to
I
protect
think
you
they
from.
correlate a little bit, but I don't think they you know, I don't.
Ego
I
is to
think
help you
to a
protect yourself.
story that the gentleman might have been lacking in pride. So pride is satisfaction in oneself and one's own doing, and he was lacking in pride and self-esteem, and his ego was bruised. But ego is the big one, and pride feeds off the ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to ask you which
Is
one is the
into the
biggest
ego.
one.
Right. That's why every time I do say pride and ego, I always just mix it together because they dang near, you know what I'm saying, kind of
Well,
work one
pride
and one
is
for real, even though it's like two different meanings though, but
I think
that's
ego
all
Instead
I
of
is
him
get on.
the
being satisfied with his own works and moving forward and growing, he lacked that pride, and because he lacked that pride, he had low self-esteem, and again, that's all ego based. That's all ego. That's all feeding the ego.
Yeah. Pride is like the closest
pride
thing
is
next
higher.
to like arrogance though,
Pride is higher.
because like the opposite of pride would be humility, right? AKA being humble a little bit, stuff like that. But yeah, pride ain't never really been a Good thing.
It's a good emotion though to have pride. To have pride in your name, pride in
It
your
could be a
job.
driving
Pride in
emotion
your
like a
work.
I
that
think
can
it's
help you.
Pride is
But
I
everything.
think it's
it's
definitely
that
emotion. I think the ego is what traps you in that emotion, right?
yeah,
That's what it. I think that's what it is.
yeah, that's exactly
Once
what I
It's
was saying
definitely
earlier. I
emotional.
said the
if you
ego is
lose
what
your
Definitely
pride,
prolongs
then
it
you're
and
more
keeps it
vulnerable
there.
to be for ego to be hurt. Because if
Hey,
say
I'm
you have a lot of money, or you have a business, or you have whatever, and you lose it, and you lost your pride. If you hold that as your pride, and then somebody can say anything to you and hurt your ego, right? Because your ego is more vulnerable when your pride is weak.
All I'm going to say is these conversations about ego and whatnot, I always find funny because everybody's just
So have y'all
speaking.
ever had your ego or
Wait,
pride
wait, 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 wait. 1 second,
messed
Wait,
man.
with?
wait.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, one
Mister's
second.
talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say that the conversation probably would be easier if we were talking about the rest of the concepts involved with it. There's the id, there's the ego, and there's the super ego, and all three of these things work together to regulate our personality. So we might want to read up on what the id does in conjunction to what the ego does, and then what the purpose of the superego is, because these are all Freudian terms that are things that he spoke about. And to just hyper focus on one is kind of missing the bigger picture. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah.
Agree.
They all positive emotions. Like they all pride is positive, ego is positive. It's just the way you use it. They can be both either negative or
Pride.
positive.
I don't think pride has ever been positive.
Pride has always been
So
looked
Wait,
at.
have you
wait.
guys
Pride
Can
is
I ask you a
experienced
positive.
the
question?
gentleman
Wait,
on the
have you
panel?
ever? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Have you ever worked at a
I
job
was about to say, have
and the
any of you men
satisfaction
ever
in?
had your pride or ego messed with?
Y'all both was talking. I didn't even hear y'all clearly.
And I'm gonna stay down.
Uh, man, your phone is tripping right now.
Oh my! Right, it's back glitch mode. Soon as she about to start
I
too.
Yeah, TikTok got you in the chokehold, and it ain't
can
let you go.
y'all hear me?
No, it
Yeah, I
wouldn't
hear
let you
you
go.
now.
We hear you now, though.
I'm too,
Can
boy.
y'all hear me?
Yeah.
No,
You can hear me?
it's tripping.
Be fast before it can mess up.
Yeah, have any of you men had your pride or ego messed with?
Yes.
Definitely the
Yeah,
ego got hurt.
Yeah, the ego. Yeah.
The
yeah.
quickest way to hurt a man ego, tell him is he come too quick or his or his thing is short.
Tell him
Sometimes your ego get
he
messed
don't
with. You
have the
get humbled.
facilities that he don't have the facilities to please a woman. That'll hurt a person egos.
Every
On
man
what
got
she
ego.
asked though. On what she asked, so I don't know if I've ever had my ego hurt because it's an ego, but I've definitely had my pride hurt because I overstepped, and that was the ego getting
Pride is a
involved in
feeling.
my.
How did he react?
How do your feeling
Yeah,
get? How
yeah.
do
So
a
I
How did
don't
he
know
feeling?
if
react?
my pride. Yeah, because I'm not like
That's like
I'm not a prideful person necessarily, right? But I know my ego's been stepped on because I overstepped. I overstepped with my ego and that got shit on. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as my pride is concerned, like pride for me gives you the vulnerability to walk away and still be prideful and still be like,
I was
hey,
about to say.
I
I
could have
think
turned that
you
situation
might got
around.
that. I just thought about that.
But
I'm
my
mixing
ego got
pride.
me in some trouble where I've lost
I'm
scholarships.
mixing.
You know, I lost scholarships over ego.
I think I have mixed up
Yeah,
pride
because
and
the pride,
That's
prideful.
your
I
word.
don't.
because the pride was low. That's why that's
Bro,
why
is my stuff
pride is
working?
ego.
Why somebody every time I talk to everybody keep talking? That's crazy. Is my
No
talk
problem.
delayed?
Delayed. No, I think we probably delayed.
I'm like, no, every time I talk. The
No,
freak.
it's probably we delayed. It's probably because I think that every time we all try to begin to talk, we get to running over each other. I think something happened where we delayed.
It must be all these boxes or something. But no,
No,
all I was saying was just I think I was mixing prideful, right? I don't think pride. I'm gonna look up the definition of pride, right? Let me see pride. So pride is a feeling deep pleasure of satisfaction derived from one's own achievement, the achievement of those whom one is closely associated from the qualities possess, pleasure, joy, consciousness of own's dignity. Okay.
I'm
I
now
guess that's like a double-edged sword.
in a position that will put pride in a position that I don't need you to see me successful in order for me to be prideful. So like if I'm with my wife or my daughter and I get us out of a bad situation, right? That could be pride even though I don't say anything. Ego is like, oh, you ain't gonna mess with me. Pride is like, well, you know what, I'll just be quiet and sit back and I'll just, walk away from this shit and not say nothing. Like
No,
I
that's
I
called,
can
you
have
mixed that
pride
up.
and
That's
love.
humility.
Yeah,
It's the
I mean, but then
opposite.
pride and humility have to go hand in hand. Then it's not
That's
pride and
opposite,
ego.
yeah. Humility is the opposite of pride. Pride to
Okay.
make you go forward towards it. So I guess it's that pride with pride. That's more of a and I would say it is it's a good and a bad thing sometimes. I guess so. I guess pride is like what gets you because sometimes like I be saying with being stubborn, right? Uh, being stubborn like it ain't bad to because some things you got to be stubborn with, but sometimes you got to balance it and be open to other situations too. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah, it's almost
I guess
like pride is acceptable. Ego get you murked though. Ego get you murked. Like you let your ego get involved, bro. You might not make it home that day.
that's the same thing as pride.
Yeah.
Pride is pride. I know you heard the song "Pride to Get You Unalive, Even Love."
Yeah. Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar
Hey,
made a song
can
about
I jump
pride.
in?
That's how we know pride ain't really a good thing all the time,
I
for
never
the most
heard
part.
that saying. That's new for me.
Huh?
I said I never heard that saying. That's new for me.
Yeah. No, it's Kendrick Lamar. He had a song called Pride on that damn
Yeah.
CD. So
And it
what the
gets
CD is called?
God is
Damn.
the devil.
yeah.
Right. They'd be like pride. Well, I think they say that. I don't know what they say.
I mean,
It's called
it's a
Pride
hard
though.
thing because
Blow
I
me.
think it's a disillusion depending on like how you face it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be prideful, I could be, happy about my success or happy about like you're not gonna talk down to me type of thing, but ego will get you in trouble, bro. Like when you let your ego get involved with
I
something,
think.
like
I I mean, I guess it depends on everybody's beliefs. I don't know what it is, but I think the goal is to be more humble than prideful. I think. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wouldn't say. I don't know if proud or
Can I say
pride
Well,
something
is
real
a
quick?
all around bad
Kev,
thing. I don't know, but I think it can just get to a point where um it blocks us from being humble. I guess I don't know how to explain that though.
I think it's a protection mechanism. You
I
protect
think you
the
guys
things
are
that you value. So
confusing pride with being prideful. Those are two different concepts altogether.
right,
Humble means the meaning.
because when you're pride,
Well,
if you're proud about something, if you're proud about the work you do, you're proud about your podcast guy right here. You're proud about your last name. You're proud about your family. Those are great emotions to protect, right?
I'm happy for it.
Ego,
I
on
guess
the other,
in the scenario with today, it's like it don't matter if you broke or rich. Pride and ego can get your whole life situated in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Like I think when you're on a level to where you feel confident in
So
yourself, you do let being like that humility does come in to where you like, all right, bro, I don't really got like you can flex on me all you want. I'm not gonna flex back. That actually could be a pride thing. Like that could be a pride situation to where you coming at me like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm this and that, and you just sitting back like, all right, whatever, bro. Like that's pride based on the fact like I got my shit handled. I'm
so
taking
I
care of my
looked at.
family. I'm taking care of all of this or whatever.
I be
But I don't
forgetting
have
you.
to
You
be.
be going on. I be put a
I don't
timer on
have
you.
to
I be
be
forgetting about that.
explosive. I don't have to be explosive with my pride, right? Ego actually gets in the way when you stepping up and saying like, "Don't talk to me like that. I bust your ass or whatever," right? And
Can I say
that's when
something real
ego
quick
gets
after
you in
him?
trouble.
I'm gonna get y'all just was trying to say something, but I was gonna let him do his ride. I guess. But I just looked up humble versus pride, right? So y'all can understand the goal is to be more humble, right? Or humility, right? Humility. I look humble versus pride. Everybody got Google, right? Humility comes when people are secure. Pride comes when they are insecure. A humble leader is a confident leader, knowing who they are and what they do. A prideful leader is an overconfident leader trying to convince other people that they are good enough to be doing what they are doing. I think I talked about this in the live before. Even arrogant people got some type of insecurity behind it because they're trying to prove themselves to something. So that means they're not really confident, fully confident in what they is, because the reason why they got to voice something or show it off because they leave a little room that they're not secure in what they believe in or what they feel.
How do you stop it then, host? Like in the sense of I'll be humble, right? Like I'll be humble in the situation, but if you push me to a certain point, there's some things that I'm just gonna have to snap back on. Is that just ego or pride coming in? Because at a point, it's like, hey, bro, yeah, whatever.
You
Yeah,
So
said
we
you
talk all
have
the
to.
can I
time,
speak
but
on this?
Go ahead. Why everybody come up with one bars? That's crazy. What's something up with
So
my live?
my
Go
bad.
ahead,
I'm
Tony.
driving. That's why.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Let me say something real quick, or
Can you
you're
hear?
gonna let Tony go ahead? Go ahead, Tony.
No, no. You,
Like
you go
Dante.
ahead. You go ahead before me, cause I wanted to kind of squash the argument over this. Not argument, but the back and
Okay.
forth.
See,
But go ahead.
to my understanding, pride is introspective, and being prideful is projective. And what I mean by that is you can have pride in your work, you can have pride in your family, you can have pride in how you live your life. But being prideful, that's a verb, that's an action,
Yeah.
and that's usually negative.
That's negative, yeah. Must be. I think I thought I meant, but that might have got overheard though, because I did mention that it's
Uh,
a difference between prideful and pride.
okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I was doing something else. I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
can
still
tell your
driving. I'm gonna
junk
wait till
came
I get
back
out of
two
this
hours later.
spot
What
I'm in
happened
a
to
minute.
everybody just dropped? What the freak? I make my boxes small again then.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, I know. Hold on real quick. But yeah, I think the goal is to be. Dang, what the freak? I understand we gotta build up our confidence though, right? But I, I don't know if confidence have anything to deal with. I don't know. I was about to ask this BK was here. I was about to make sure he ain't fall asleep, dog. I see you down there, my brother. I see you.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
good.
listening.
I
I'm
know. I'm about to
listening.
say if you quiet that long, that's dangerous. You watch out. Remind me of Hormiga. He be doing that. He quiet for a while. He done wrote a whole book on stuff. So
Yeah, I'm just listening to everybody. Everybody different opinions about ego and stuff. You know, and everybody, can have their own way, or everybody can be right. You know what I mean? So I just like
yeah,
to listen. I like to listen to understand.
facts, facts. Right,
I
right.
think the goal is to have pride, but not be prideful.
Mm.
Well,
That,
okay. Can y'all hear me now?
yeah, I hear you.
All right. So, I wanted to go back to something that Kev said earlier about one of our earlier conversations. Remember when we had that that conversation about everyone has insecurities, right?
Facts.
So there's no way you can completely get rid of it. Hold on, I'm about to order food real quick, but go ahead.
I ain't even make it to my good part. We got stuck at the ego part. I can't wait to get to. I'm trying to get to the listen to respond part. Then we can get to everybody. I never made it to that part yet.
And yeah, I'm just saying what I was saying earlier about the word "but." The word "but" it's so some sort. It's something like um you are, how I say, you're saying it without saying it, that whatever you're saying is a terrible idea. When you interrupt someone, when you say "but," you know what I
Right.
mean. But you should always try to replace, because it's something sort of like an ego. You know what I mean? Well, your way is not the right way, but I'm gonna tell you how you should do it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to replace that word with with something different, because
Yeah.
it ties in along with ego.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's you right about that.
That's why I
Somebody
say
actually told me that though. Instead of, I think it was Hormiga. He was like, instead of saying but, he say and to
say.
add to because or
Mhm,
because some people
mhm.
say, oh, I got a better idea. Like that's like basically shutting somebody else's stuff down. Like like you the better one. You know what I'm saying? So that do tie into like, yeah, you're right, ego and all that stuff though. So we
Yeah,
gotta
because
fix to
you
add
can't do
to at
that.
least sound like we understood what another person said or acknowledge that we understood it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't
Would
do that.
say,
You can't be like,
yeah, I would
nah, I
say,
Let me
understand
drop
you,
down.
but
I'll catch you
I
later.
understand you, but
All
like you
right, for
can't
sure,
do
brother.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be like, oh, I understand what you're saying, but like you
Yeah.
can't do that because
You don't.
you don't understand what I'm saying if you say but at the end of it. You don't
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying. So that I think that would do like I mean that's the hard thing about like the pride and the ego thing is just like you if you really like you almost want to reiterate what
All right,
somebody
man. Thing.
says by saying the same thing back. So if you saying to me like, "Hey, Blee, I didn't like it when you did such and such to me," and I turn around and I say, "Okay, so you said I did this to you and it made you feel this way." Then I can't say, but I didn't mean to make you feel this way. What I have to do is be like, you know what, bro, I'm sorry I made you feel this way. And it was my fault for saying such and such, and that's why you felt that way, right? And
all
then
right,
you can walk away from the situation. But if I say, I'm sorry I made you feel this way, but then you be
see
like,
now,
well,
usually
that's
the
a
way
fucked up
to avoid
conversation.
that, usually the word but kind of negates a person's perspective or experience. So instead of saying, but you say, okay, I understand your experience, here's mine. And then you go on with your point. So
Thanks.
instead of invalidating theirs,
Tell
that's
me.
more likely how you should do that. And if you can, you can even kind of reiterate your understanding of their point, do that and that and that. I understand you said this and that, and this is how you may have felt, and all these types of things. Now, here's my experience on that matter. That would be a good way to go about it without invalidating somebody else's
Yeah,
experience,
that's
That's
basically
perfect.
training.
unless
Yeah, that's
unless
perfect,
they're
Tony.
trying to do something like trying to say something that's wrong, and then obviously you would go back against that because they're wrong.
Because
Yeah, I
But
will butt some
that's
negative stuff.
expressive.
If it's
That's
negative, I'm butting
expressive.
it. I'm
Yeah,
butting in.
that's expressive though, right? Like that's emotional intelligence, right? So you say something to me and then I say, "Okay, so what I said the
well,
other day made you feel like this and this, right?" And you're like, "Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
don't
how it
like
made
that.
me
I don't like that
feel."
phrase. The
You know
emotional
what
intelligence. I don't like
No,
that
no,
phrase. It's just
I
kind of
understand, but I'm just saying on the response, it'd be like, "So what I said made you
You don't
feel
like because everybody use it wrong.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I just
cuz
don't like
It's
it.
like accountability. I heard somebody else say that. I think I heard Moses say that too. He's like, that's some BS about emotion. But that's because well,
yeah,
especially the women
yeah.
y'all talk to use that junk just so frequently because they don't know the
Well,
real meaning behind emotional
it's yeah,
intelligence.
it's the connotation of it is kind of just annoying. So that's why I don't use it. I just be like, you're very good at comprehending, or you have empathy. It's pretty much the same
I
thing.
got you.
Facts.
I
I
got
So
get you.
you. I got
so
you.
that's
That
why
makes sense. Yeah, that makes
that, and I
sense.
wanted to get back to that point that I was gonna make about the pride and ego. So first off, these are human nature things. You can't get rid of these. You can't get rid of the actions behind them, but you can suppress them and control how much you have.
Right.
These are characteristics that if you use, just like most other characteristics, if you use in a too much in abundance, you look a certain way. More than likely, you look
Mm.
egotistical or over prideful, overzealous, over things like that. These things are actually healthy for people to have because people with no ego are really easy to control. These are people we kind of take advantage of. If you don't have an ego or sense of self, you get
Ooh.
controlled. So, and
Ooh.
pride also, if you don't have pride, more than likely you will be more than likely over enthusiastic, which means more than likely outside experiences or stuff like that will be able to take over what you think and you'll take it on as your own. These are how women tend to you know, kind of transfer traumas over to other people because they have no sense of will of themselves to think, well, this is my experience and it may be better, or that type of deal. So I would say to an extent these things are useful in humans. That's why we have it. It's just like an insecurity. We all have them. We could say we have none, you're lying. There's a reason why you're still alive, and that's because you are insecure. You are
And what you're
insecure of something.
And what you're saying though is that even though pride and ego can be detrimental to you, they can also be something that you use as a defense to save you, right?
Yeah,
So because it's almost like a fuck
it's
around and find out,
How,
right? It's like you get
it,
to a
it gives
point,
you
it's
your
like push me,
individuality.
yeah,
Yes,
push
it
me
gives
to
you
a
your
certain point.
individuality.
I'll sit back and be humble to a certain point, but eventually I'm gonna let my ego and my pride step in, and you're not gonna be able to mess with me because fuck around and find out, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean these
I'm
things are
willing,
good in
I'm willing
balance.
to
Yes,
take
these
it.
things are good in balance.
Yeah, okay, I got you. That makes sense to
I
me.
don't know
Yeah.
about that
So
pride. Pride
even
just
a
like a
over
feeling.
even
That's
a
like saying
person
you got to be jealous. What the freak I keep hitting this life for, man? Dang.
No,
so I
no.
mean
What
even like
what
a
he's
person
saying
that's
is
over
like
humble.
I can be prideful to enough of humility, like to where I'm sitting back and somebody coming at me, and I'm just like, all right, bro, you
I
win,
think
like whatever, like cool, like. But then it's like, go ahead and keep testing me and see what happened. And so it is a point to where you have to draw the line and say, my ego and my pride is about to step in, and I don't think you're ready for that. But
Yeah,
I'm
see,
I
I
trying to
mean
think
be
we
humble.
all
ego.
I'm trying to be
especially
humble.
we
I'm
all
trying
as
to be
men,
humble. Yeah, I'm trying
yeah,
to be
we
humble right now, but don't fuck around and find out, bro. Like that's pride and ego being suppressed, but that's also saying like, all right, talk your shit. Go ahead, talk your shit. But I promise you're gonna get to a point where, like we gonna have to go ahead and solidify whose ego and whose
Yeah,
pride
what's
is
the
bigger
point
than
of
the
that?
other
That's a
for
whole
sure.
nother thing. I don't get the point of
I
that
don't I
either,
don't
though.
know what the point of it
See,
is.
that's
I'm just
that's
saying
just flat
that's
out
what it
ego
feels
because
like to me.
I get you. That is pride and ego. What you mean? Because there's no point even for it. But pride itself, like I said, that's just it's a feeling. It's a feeling, just like other stuff, jealousy, like love, happiness, and all the other stuff. Those are feelings. And like I said, ego. Now you were saying that you ain't have pride. Basically, you were saying it like they ain't have a backbone or something like that, right? Tony.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Because
No,
if
I'm
you got
trying
no
to see what
pride,
you were saying.
that means you're wishy-washy.
So, Tony, where you at? I'm just trying to see something real quick. So I feel like the ego is what keep your It ain't the pride part. Pride is like basically being happy for, or like that. It's that situation where you are just. I think it got a lot to do with confidence, right? In a way, maybe we can say it
Self-worth.
that way.
Well,
So
host, do
you
you
kind of like that's what keep you feeling like you right or something like that.
do
I
you
think
have
that's
do
the
you have
pride
this?
part.
Host, have you ever had this in your life? Sorry to cut you off, brother, but have you ever had this in your life? Because I do it with myself. Is I usually give people three chances. So you mess with me once, yeah, that's cool, whatever. I'm gonna take my pride and my ego out of that. You mess with me again, all right, bro. Let me tell you, stop messing with me. I promise you, it's not gonna turn out right. If you come at me the third time, I just let my pride and ego take over because at that point, I've already told you to stop messing with me. I've already told you that it affects
sorry,
me
I'm
in a certain way. I've already told you that
yeah.
emotionally I can't control myself anymore, and I've given you three chances. And since you want to poke the bear, then I'm gonna let the bear out. And that almost seems like pride and ego to me because at a point with me personally, I just can't take it to. I told you to leave me alone. I told you to stop messing with me. And at a point, I got to let my ego and pride show at that point because I'm not going to let you poke me like that. And maybe and that's a fault on my. I'm not saying I'm a good person because of that or that I'm right, but there is a point to where I get to say like, okay, I'm gonna let my pride and ego ride instead of my humility or my humbleness because I was humble for a
I'd
while.
like to say something. I like to say something. So McBlee, to that, like I said, these are also normal. We understand that we all have a level of this, and this is natural. This is natural. Men understand that there's a temperament in between each other, especially when we talk not to offend each other or try, not to cross certain boundaries, because we understand where our understanding goes out of the window and our pride and ego takes over. You can't, remember, men are territorial. We understand that there's a thin line before we go to blows with each other. So we understand this on a natural level that we can't just, do things with each other, do certain things to each other because we understand that his ego, he has one. It don't matter who you are, where you at, all that stuff. You have an ego and you have thresholds in which that should take over. Yeah, we have humility. We can take, but there's so much that people can take, and we understand that naturally. So, like I said, these things are natural. It just shouldn't be done in
And all this
overabundance.
stuff, anger is
In the
natural and all that
comments
stuff,
said,
but you got to pick and choose. You got to pick and choose. Like it's all. It is a balance though. But
nah, but somebody in
all
the
time.
comments said, so you can't control your own emotions, and
Yeah, that's all
actually,
I'm about
I
to get to.
am.
I wasn't even about to tackle it because the way you was talking, it
Yeah, I
just
was
sounded
like,
like
no,
you. It
I
sounded
can
like somebody
control
got
my
control of your
emotions.
emotions.
Yeah, I can control my emotions to the point of walking away multiple times. But if you follow me into the cut, then you in trouble, bro. Like, I'm
No,
sorry.
it
Like,
sounds like you
at a
looking
point, I
for
got
it
to
though.
defend myself. I got to defend my family. I got to do something.
That sounds
And
like
I
you
don't think
just
that's pride and
stretching it.
ego. I think that's just saying, like, okay, you can only push me so far.
Yeah, the
And at a
fact that you
point, I got
came
to
up with that
stand up for
scenario
myself.
sounds like that's something you look forward to doing to prove some type of point though. So that sounds like something
I
that.
don't look forward. I don't look
Yeah,
forward
dude,
to
because
doing it
the
in
fact
some
that you just use a
fashion.
scenario talking about if you follow me or something like the whole point is to try to avoid confrontation or situation as much as you can. I haven't heard you say not one time you're trying to avoid it. That's what I be mean about the humility is to
No,
go.
I
You know
do
what I'm
try
saying?
to
You sound
avoid
like
it,
you
but
want to. It sound like you want to
I
prove a
think the
point so
older
bad.
you get, I think the older you get, you do try to avoid these situations, but you understand that, like, sometimes it's unavoidable. I guess when I was younger, I would attack the situation. When I'm older, I try to maneuver away from those situations. You know, like, I don't try to get my family, I don't try to get my friends in trouble because of the way I'm reacting, and I try to avoid it. And I do at a point respond. You know, I don't try to respond to get into a crazy situation, but I feel I do have to respond at a point if somebody's pushing my buttons. But I'm willing to sit back and just let and take it. I'm willing to let somebody just shit on me the whole night and take it because I know what I'm capable of. But I'm also like, man, like, I really just want to turn around and just, like, get into this situation. Like, I really,
That,
I
that's
don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's a weird feeling for me
So,
because I grew up fighting, like,
so
so
I
Mm,
understand.
I can hear it.
I understand that kind of. So, when it comes down to it, there's certain things that men have to learn how to control. I think one of them is our ego.
Most definitely.
And we control this through virtues like prudence, wisdom, and choosing battles right. So
mhm.
when you go into certain things like that, I guess when you get older, it's as you get older, you learn how to control these things when you're civilized correctly. Usually these things turn into protection, like we all go through it. Men with testosterone, normal levels of testosterone go through these things. We understand that we're getting stronger. We're a little bit more aggressive and stuff. But when we're civilized right into society, these turns into protection and providing and caring and stuff like that. This is what that turns into. Also prudence, learning to learning situations and how to avoid them and certain things like that. So you get these, you usually learn these as you get older and civilized into civilization. So I would
Tony.
say, I mean, as long as you don't do it now, you're not just a live wire all the time, you're good off.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
So, like,
So,
if you were about to get down and whatever, right? I would, like, kind of tap your shoulder and be like, "Yo, bro, you want to do this?" And you would be like, "Nah, bro, it's not worth it." And I'd be like, "Okay, cool, whatever," right? And that's kind of like, okay, we're gonna let our pride aside or whatever. If it was me and my wife though, and somebody stepped on that situation, like, I don't know where I lose control at that point because now protection, I don't really care about pride and ego. Like, we
yeah.
about to unalive today. You know what I'm
So,
saying? Like, if my daughter is with me and somebody come up to my daughter on some disrespectful shit, I don't know. But if it's crazy because I don't know how to justify the fact that it's with me and my boy is like, no, 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 it's cool, Blee. Don't trip about it. It's cool. Oh, okay, we good. We good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna overstep in that moment. But it's weird when it feels like I'm protecting my family to where hey, we going live today. That's just what it is. Like, I don't know why that comes into my head.
That's your pride talking. That's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
So I was gonna go
I
back
would
to saying
say
because I thought about it. I thought. I thought about the pride stuff, right? That is like it do make the balance, right? There's a certain time you need to be humble. There's a certain time you should be prideful. Just like it would be a lot of pride and ego behind like going to a war or something. You ain't gonna be humble, right? In a war. So I do understand pride can be a good thing too. Something I thought
Yeah,
about. Um, but
yeah. There's
the
also
thing
pride. Men
is, I
take
think
pride in having
humility is the
families,
goal.
children, and stuff like that too.
I, your one bar is getting me, man. I want to hear you, but your one bar gonna be hearing everything late. Um, I don't
Don't
even
let
know
the
what you
Man,
just
pride
said.
and ego come in.
Huh?
Don't let that pride and ego come in with that one bar.
I must have missed it. I don't know. But no, I was just saying, like, it's like picking and choosing the battles. I think our problem is we always use our pride and ego in the wrong situation. But I think that, like, I think overall humility is like is way powerful than once you learn it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it's so easy to be prideful and ego driven to certain situations because that's like that actually. I think humility even shows you how to control your emotions more, right? That's why I think this world has teach you so much different that you're supposed to do this. This make you tough because you react to something. No, it make you tough to not react to something. You know what I'm saying? Like people twist stuff so around so much, but it's and they don't realize this stuff is more dangerous than helping. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it take a powerful person to actually be humble, or you know. So that's why I say that's the goal. So I would choose humility over pride probably any day. Now that I've matured a little bit and stuff. So, but
Hey,
I feel
host,
I do understand it's places and depending on the place and the timing of when you have to use pride and ego, right? Because we
hey,
need
host,
all of it. It's just a
host, do you
balance.
have children? Do you have children?
No,
No, you don't. Okay. Um, it's crazy because of what you're saying is that there's moments what I have with my daughter, like let's say we out at the fair, we out at Disneyland or whatever, and I'll squat down and get eye to eye with my daughter because I don't like speaking over her, being a taller person, all of that, whatever. And I'll sit down and I say, "Do you want to go ahead and mess up this situation so we don't have fun today?" And it's a really it's a really calm conversation, right? So pride is out the window. There's a 5-year-old child like acting up, and I have to get eye to eye with her and squat down on her level and be like, "Hey, we could just sit on that bench or go back to the car for the rest of the day. Do you want to do that?" I think that's where you take your ego and pride out of the situation because you're trying to, as our parents used to say, I'm trying to learn you something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make sure that you understand that this is not something that you get on a daily basis, and this is a privilege and not a fact. You know, to be at Disneyland or to be out and about or to be at this dinner party or to be out with your friends or whatever. And I will sit down with my daughter and do that. So to the people that are in the live, like if you do have children, I think pride and ego is taken out of your life pretty quickly when you have children. I think you do remove that pretty quick because
not
but
with
it but it
everybody.
also but it also
Actually,
expands really
I
quick. It
think it's the
also
opposite. I think
expands
it
really
increases
quick as
I don't
well.
think
because
you
they
do
think that.
actually.
I think
Yeah, it
it's the
actually,
opposite.
I would
It
say it
increases.
increases
I'm about to say
actually.
some people.
No, I can say it expands really quickly when you're like, yo, little mother, whatever. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. But I think it does present to you some kind of like an ego transition or a pride transition where you're saying like, man, this child is smart. I'm not gonna disrespect the fact that they're intelligent, and
Yeah,
then I do have to approach them
wait till your
as
child
their
gets smarter and you see
personality.
how much ego and pride go. I brought you
Yeah,
in this world. You're gonna start talking like
it
that.
goes out the window. So you do
That's
have to approach it in a certain way to be like, okay, I don't want to interrupt who they are personality wise. I don't want to do that, and I do want to teach them respect, but I don't want to be disrespectful to them. You know, like it's a weird like conundrum, right? Like it's just kind of like a how like you're constantly learning as you navigate it. So your pride is thrown out the window. Your ego is definitely humbled more often than not.
yeah.
So
So
And
I'm
I
out
would
there.
say, yeah, I think I'm not lagging anymore.
No,
Actually,
you
I think
good.
I'm
You
good.
good.
Am I good?
Yeah, you
A,
good.
but so when it comes down to the ego and pride and your family and stuff, yeah, no, you still have it. I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, like I said, it pretty much mostly where you use these things and how you use it is pretty much, you know, where it actually counts. You know, having the air quotations emotional intelligence to understand how to use these emotions and where to
You
use them
said it.
at and stuff like that. Because like I said, you can't get rid of that. You're always going to have it. The fact that
Right.
you have an opinion shows that you have it. You
Fact.
can't not have it.
Right.
Facts. I get you.
So
Cause it's something you got to
so
stand on.
yeah, everyone has their opinion. There's things that you won't go back on, and it takes a lot of pride, especially if it's wrong. We see that all on here, to stand on some shit that's wrong. And so people will have it. It's all there is to it. I
I
mean,
get you.
some to their detriment, of course, but I would say the leveling of these emotions is really what counts.
Is
Because
pride and
we're talking
stubbornness the
about
same thing?
the pride and stubborn. Nope.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
because I think, and
It, it it
the
could
stubborn and
be it
ego ain't the
could be
same thing,
to an
is it?
extent.
Because I think some of the stuff we use for
Mm-mm.
pride is stubborn too.
Now
Right.
hold on,
I would
hold
say
on, hold
to an
on, on now.
extent, this is where these things kind of evolve. It kind of evolves. So, like I said, there's no such thing as a bad denotation of pride or ego because we all have them. These aren't inherently bad things because we all have them.
Okay, so
Yeah, you're
So
right.
check
it's
me, fellas, then, because
only the
my daughter.
connotation
Please
that we
don't do
give
a
it
whole
is what's
story
bad.
because I'm short on
No,
time. I know
I
you.
won't do a whole
I know.
story. I won't do a whole story, but like my daughter will speak to my wife a certain way, and I'll be like, "Don't you dare talk to your mother like that." Like, what is that? Is that
Hmm.
pride, ego?
Exactly.
What is that for me? Because
That's
I'll be like, I
parenting.
swear to God, if you ever
That's
talk to your
pride.
mother like that
That's
again,
pride.
Yeah, you right. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's pride because you have respect for that woman and no one's going to disrespect her, not even her own children.
yeah, okay.
That is pride that you're showing for your woman.
But is it
It's a protection
irresponsible
mechanism. Like he's
pride,
right.
or
It's
is it
that's what it is. It's a
responsible pride?
protection mechanism. It's to protect what you have.
Hmm? Say,
It's a
yeah,
protect.
of
It's a
course.
protection. It's a protection
Yeah,
mechanism. Like it's
He
to
said,
protect
"Is
what you
that
have,
pride?"
things that you value.
yeah, you have pride in what you would want to protect, right?
Yeah. So it's a natural emotion.
Wondering if it's
Hmm.
wrong.
Yeah,
It's
like I
not
said, all
wrong.
these are natural.
So I'm okay. I'm okay with that because I'm like, I bet you if you talk to your mother like that, you're gonna have a problem right now. And so it's almost
Hmm.
like a pride and ego thing, right? That's jumping in because my wife is looking at it like she don't know how to respond, but I'm jumping in as the husband saying, I swear to God, you talk to your mother like that again, you're gonna have a problem you don't want to have.
Exactly.
Protecting,
I mean, I
protecting
wouldn't say
her.
it exactly like that, but yeah, I mean that's a pride. That's the pride you are showing
I
for your
got, but you
woman
get what
that
I'm saying.
she is
You get,
not going to
you
be
get what
disrespected.
I'm saying. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get
All
what you're
right.
saying though. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to this next one because we just got stuck on the. I was trying to hurry so I could hear everybody what they got to say, but I just got to get to the last parts before I have to. So I got 30 minutes left or 34 minutes now. So what does listening to respond look like to me? And I'm mad at everybody gone because we done stuck on that ego and all that stuff. I wanted a few people to hear this. But so we did say that when you say but and all this stuff and hurry up and trying to, oh, my stuff is better or something like that. Does that mean you really already done tuned their situation out and or what they were saying out and just trying to get your point across? And then there's another thing where this is what let's respond. I had noticed this lately. When you talk to somebody about something and then all they do is take out one part of what you say. They take the ending part what you said instead of listening. Remember the whole entire thing. They take the ending part and then rebuttal that. That's listening to respond. And then they can't even tell you what you said. They just rebutted the last two words you said, right? Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, that's another thing, another form of listen to respond. Is it another one? Them the two right now I got in my mind though, but I couldn't wait to say them. Them the two though. But I've
Yeah,
been learning. I'm learning more and more though.
yeah. Usually we can see that people are listening to respond when they kind of deflect or straw man an argument, which
Deflect.
is what you just
Yep.
said.
Yep.
When they kind of straw man an argument, that's the biggest way of just listening to respond. Because more
Mm-hmm.
than likely, people usually when they straw man, they just want an argument off of the initial argument.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much they mostly do this when they understand that they are wrong, and pretty much the only thing that they can say is okay, like let's say if you were to say to me, Kev, 2 + 2 is 4, and then I said, but why are you using 2 though? Like, why can you use like another? Like, see, it like I
I
understand that
get
you're
you.
correct, but I'm going to make an argument out of
Facts.
something else that's in the question more than likely, but is not the same, the initial argument, because I
Hmm.
understand if I argue against that, I'm gonna look stupid.
Facts.
so,
Facts.
so yeah, I do get
Well,
the
some
whole
people don't
listening
care
to
to look
respond.
stupid,
Yeah,
but it depends on
yeah,
the
and
person.
then that's it. And that also goes back to what? The pride. That's an
Right.
unhealthy amount of pride.
Right.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
mean that's solid, but you do have to understand. You do have to understand, like,
Did he say but?
Show you right. Show you right. Show you right. Mm. And
I had a friend tell me once that, like, when he would sit down with his wife, he would have to ask her, "Am I here to listen or am I here to respond?" And that's one thing that I think I've taken in, like, with a whole grain of salt, right? Is to be like, hold on a second, am I here to just listen to you like vent, or am I here to try to correct the problem? And I do have to understand that situation when it comes to at least my lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do have to understand, like, is she just letting off steam, or am I supposed to be fixing this problem? So I will actually start that conversation out by saying, like, do you want me to just listen to you? Yes. She will respond, yes, I just want you to listen. Okay, then I shut my mouth and I just listen to her and I just let her vent and do her thing. And that's different than a conversation of, I need help with this situation. Can you figure out this for me? I think we got to be, like, conscious of that. When your homie comes to
Mm,
you and he's just blowing up, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, do you want me to help you with this? Or do you want me to just, like, sit back and be like the punching bag for you? Just be the punching
I
bag.
think
All
that's a
right,
little
bet.
different
Cool.
though. You talking about like talking to that's different. You talking about like listening for a solution or
No,
listen. Both of them,
you
it could
said to
be you can
listen.
understand both of them. That's not even really like listening to respond. That's just like trying
Nah,
to
but listening to
navigate which
respond
which
means
which
I don't
solution
give
you
a
gonna do, huh?
Wait, are we
Yeah,
talking about in relationships with
listening to
women?
respond means I don't give a shit about what you say, and I'm gonna tell you how I
Right. I'm
feel.
yeah. That's what I'm about to say. That's
That's
what
what
that
listening to
is. Yeah.
respond is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. When somebody come to you with certain shit, it's like you got to sit back and be like, am I supposed to respond to this, or am I supposed to just listen? And
So
sometimes I think we're like, the ego comes in to where we're afraid to ask a question. Do you want me to just listen to you? Oh yeah, I just want you to listen. All right, bet. I'll just sit back and listen for sure. Or do you want me to
But
respond to this?
uh, I get you a little bit, but it's just I think that's a whole nother different topic though. I think a little
Yeah, that
bit.
is
Yeah.
kind of a different topic if it
Yeah.
comes
You talking
down to
about
like a
something else, right?
relationship.
Because
yeah.
both
Yeah,
of them a
when it comes down
solution.
to a relationship, I've noticed with women, yeah, when it comes down to a relationship, when they come to you with their problems, more than likely it's crazy, it's crazy, right? They don't want you to fix it; they just want you to hear them out.
Yeah. Right.
That's
That
just
junk,
really what
that
it
junk
is.
annoying.
There's a lot of the times there's shit that you could easily fix, right? But they're
That
not
stuff you
there
do to
for a
kids.
solution. They're just there for you to hear them. And actually, on this app is a prime example. None of us are in relationships with the women at all. But when they come to us with problems, especially their own, and we try to give solutions, what usually happens? But what if this? Or but what if that? Or you're not listening to me. Or it's usually I'm not gonna lie, most of the time it's a venting session, and I've really understood that when it comes to women. I would say just listen, especially when you're in a relationship. Just listen, and then comfort all that stuff, and then later try to propose a solution, because in that moment they don't want one. They just want comfort, and that's okay, because remember, women are the more emotional, emoting humans, so we should definitely kind of appease to that. But that's for a relationship. I'm not saying this outside of one.
Mm.
Yeah, because plum dumb doesn't, when your girl's talking to you about, do you think this is right? She shouldn't have done that to me, right? Yeah, that's plum dumb. Did you just call my friend dumb? Like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Like, I just got myself into some trouble that I wasn't even supposed to, like, read. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do have to.
if you come to me and you say, "Hey, I got a problem. What do you think about it?" All right, run to it based on what I think about it. But if you just say my day was messed up, let me talk to you. You just gotta sit back and listen.
Mm. So what the freak is y'all glitching too? I'm trying to see what I can get in. This junk, yeah. Why everybody get that one bar when they about to talk? That's crazy. So, but I want to answer what Resource was saying down there. Well, with me, the reason why I said it's kind of annoying. So it just like I said, it depends on what's being said. The top, well, I couldn't think of the word to say, but I'm saying it's depend on what's being said. Now we just talking about some stuff for you to nag about or something like that. I'm not trying to hear that all day. If you were just trying to, but it depends on like if it was something real serious, right? Like, dang, I just went through this or something like that. I'm a listen to try to. Because there's some stuff you just can't come with a solution about. But the thing is, I think most majority of men in general just listen to find a solution, or most of the time, or whatever. But it's just like it's a gamble. I feel like that, and I be hearing people like they say, and I feel like it's supposed to be a two-sided thing, but they make it one-sided. Did you ask her if she wanted a solution, or did you ask her if she wanted to listen? No, I feel like it should work both ways. If you want somebody just to hear you out, let them know that I just want to be heard, or you want a solution at the end. So it depends. I feel like that goes along with that entitlement mentality thing where we be feeling like somebody should know. I feel like if we do know our partner, we know how our partner is going to answer us. So why not realize that everybody got their own way? Some people do listen and don't say anything. Some people do and don't, you know what I'm saying? But it's all coming with understanding your partner. So that means if you want something, you speak up about it, right? But it just depends. But the partner is not entitled to always ask you, do you want me to just hear you out or do you want a response for this or something like that? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's supposed to work two ways, though, not just one way.
I feel what you're saying. I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
Mr. P.
I mean, sometimes, bro, though, like when and not to hate on the ladies, but when your woman comes to you about a problem at work that day, honestly, I feel like, bro, I had a problem at work today too. Like, what do you? But I don't bring that shit home. Like that. I guess maybe that's what something I struggle with, right? Is like, oh, you had a bad day. Like unless it's like a family situation or something really crazy, it's like, oh, I had a messed up day today at work. So did I, but I don't bring that shit home. I don't bring that shit into our relationship. You know what I'm
Yeah, I'm not
saying?
about to
Maybe
keep
that's
hearing
something
that.
I gotta work on. Maybe that's
Yeah,
something I
I
gotta
ain't
work on.
going.
that
Honestly, that's a
what
very bad approach. See, I
that's
What you
think
what
say,
this is
that,
one
BK?
of these. It's
that's
one of
where
I
these
ain't
that
here.
one-sided
that's where
things with
that
women. This is one
where
of
that
those.
pride, that's where that ego and that pride come in when you have to go,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, I had a bad day too. Now I mean, that's your wife. You got to
Yeah,
listen to what she's
No,
saying. You know
I
what I
got
mean?
you. I
exactly.
got you. I got you on that. Like I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying like sometimes it's just not like okay, that's not really relevant to what we got going on. Like maybe we going on vacation in a week. Maybe we doing something tomorrow. Maybe we doing something else. It's like sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, you had a messed up day?" I had a messed up day too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't
What's the?
bring that shit home
You
with
did it
me. I
again,
just
but you
don't
did it
bring that
smoother
shit.
though.
I just don't bring that shit
I
home
get you.
with
You
me,
might be
bro.
saying it in
Like
a way to
bro, because
show that
I
you
could be
relate.
tagged on. I could be tagged on all day at work, and then like right when I get home, my wife might be saying about how bad her day was, and I'll be like, all right, for sure, like for sure, and I don't even bring my situation up, like
Yeah,
I don't even bring it up because I just be like, yeah, nah, I get it, yeah, yeah, fucked up day, yep,
yeah.
been
We
there,
built to be
done that,
stronger, so why not?
yeah, just yeah, I've been through that, I get it, yeah.
So I would
But
say that it
maybe
is
that is the
good to,
ego. Maybe that's the pride thing is being like, I'm not showing no emotion to it because I'm like, yeah, I got shit on today too. But I didn't bring it up.
yeah. I mean,
Like I just
you could show the concern and empathy though, but I feel me myself, it will get annoying if she keep making a repetition type thing, keep doing the same thing. Like, bro, you really gonna keep crying about that same job? That's
that's
just gonna be crazy to
I
me.
don't want to laugh
It
about it.
is
I
gonna
don't want to
annoy
laugh
me.
about it, but I understand. Yeah, like sometimes I just be
It's
like,
the third
same
time
old
this
shit.
week. Leave
Yeah,
the
same
job
old
in if you don't
shit,
like it.
huh? Like, cool. And then I'll be like, anyway, what you want for dinner? Like, I'll cook some steak or something, make you get out of your head. Like I kind of just, like, baby, it happens to all of us.
Like it happens to all of
I don't
us.
think
Like
it's
I don't
hard
want
to
to talk
listen to a
about that.
person you love, man. Man,
Like sometimes I just be like, let's just smack cheeks and get over it. You know what I'm saying?
you got to
Like,
realize that your partner is not your therapist. That
facts,
I mean, we be trying to give
facts,
our partner
bro.
all type of jobs and stuff. I don't think they got to do that all the time. Sit there and
I
listen to
actually
you
said
vent
it.
all
I
day.
said
That
that to
means
my
it's something
wife
you got
once,
to
and she
fix or
finally
work
understood it.
on. Why you got
She
to vent
finally
to your
understood it.
partner?
I said, I'll be your punching bag, but I won't let you beat me up. And she actually understood it at that point. It's like I don't mind you like, letting venting on me or whatever, but if you're gonna take it out on me, that's a problem.
I
And my
think it's
wife
worse with
actually
me now.
understood that shit.
Yeah, I think it's worse with me now because I don't think I'm gonna get with a person that's gonna be complaining a lot. Otherwise, I'm gonna stay single. It is what it is. But I just can't take it. There's only so much I can take, especially if I gotta be the one I gotta keep. I think I'll mention this in another life. I gotta be the one to keep uplifting our family and stuff, and you not doing no contribute, but keep crying about everything. That's like the whole opposite of what I am. So I at least need somebody on the same common ground to know that we gonna get somewhere. We gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody that can do that. Or somebody that can help me when I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Where we both like make an even exchange on that, right? But not keep on having to sit there uplift somebody that ain't trying to lift themselves. So it's just hectic. So I can't listen to no, like I said, I can't listen to no venting for a bunch of times and stuff. Especially you not trying to do anything about it. It's like, dog, I'm not your therapist. That's crazy. Go ahead, Mr. P.
Hey, so like I got a couple different things that we practice in our house, like when it comes to talking to each other and whatnot. And I've asked my wife so many times when she starts going on about something, is this a listening moment or is this a problem solving moment?
Hmm.
And I've done that so many times that now she'll just come to me and say, I just need you to listen for a second. Or she'll come to me and say, hey, I actually need a problem solved. So here, this is what's going on. So it's become kind of a prerequisite to before we get into like something is we clarify what it's for, because the way that I've interacted with like men in general and stuff throughout my whole life, my work career, all the different jobs I've had, like, we don't spend too much time chit chatting. Where if we're talking amongst each other, it's because there's a problem that needs to be solved. We need to pool our mental resources and get it taken care of so we can get back to work. So like that's just the environment I spend a lot of time in. So I did that so that the conversations wouldn't divulge into these arguments, because sometimes she's saying something and my mind is like, okay, well, here's the first problem that we can solve, here's the second one, and then all she's wanting is just to get it out so she can even understand what she's thinking sometimes, and then the other aspect when we're getting to like the complaining, and maybe some people will think this is cold, but this is just my perspective on it, is I don't want to hear shit about complaining if you ain't doing anything to solve the problem yourself.
Thanks. Thanks.
Now, if you're doing everything that can be done and shit still sucks and you want to complain, I got an open ear for you because you're putting in the work. It's
Thanks.
the prerequisite to my listening and my sympathy. So and it comes back on me. It's like, I have bone problems. I've broken my knees and my hip. And it's like, if I start complaining to my wife, she'll be like, did you go take ibuprofen? I'll be like, no. She'll be like, well, then I don't want to hear it until you've gone and taken
Thanks.
care of what you
That's
can
how
take
it's
care of.
supposed to be.
And, it can be rough at first, but then you realize, it's like, that's the other person holding you accountable for your situation. You know what I mean? And
Right.
them saying, it's like, I got shit I got to do. My time's important. And if you're not at least going to do the minimum to fix yourself, why are we going to sit here and complain? So, that's what I've worked towards. I say I, but really it was a joint effort from my wife and I.
Yeah.
We had to talk about how do we approach these things for longevity. And
Mm-hmm.
if we can't even start the conversations in the right place, that's going to have problems. So that's just how it works for us, and it's been working great. We don't got no communication issues.
Mm-hmm. That's how it's supposed to be though. And I want to hit this up with Obo saying down there, right? Because I feel like even with the people that don't have that mentality y'all got, right? That want to sit there and vent all the time. I feel like them the same people that use their partner as a band-aid, right? They feel like their partner is the one that's their job to uplift them, which with uplifting or finding happiness is something that you're supposed to do with self. I think people that so she asked, let me see, what exactly y'all should talk about in a relationship. That's why I said like they use it's people that use their partner as their hobby because they have nothing else. They don't have no other friends to talk to, so they're just going to use their partner to dump everything on. Because and this thing is like, what are you doing in your life to where that's all y'all can do is just talk about, I guess, problems all day. It's like what other thing? It's more things we could be doing with your life. You could be making some money. You could be maybe go to a park or something like that, or I don't know what it is, but it's I think even with that, like that would be like a clingy type relationship too, because like it's only so much clinginess I could take me myself though. Like I think that's like I even think clinginess is an insecurity too though, to not even give your partner time to even have no space for themselves and all that stuff. And then they gotta always keep hearing you every last second. Like, no, that's gonna get kind of that's. But yeah, I don't know about that. But some people have that stuff though. Some people hide it. Hey Jay, what's the deal, man? BK, I
Clingy,
know you're trying to get some stuff going, man. I've been seeing your stuff unmuted, muting.
clingy is insecurity. It's a big insecurity because you always want to be around that person. You want that in and out with that person. Yeah, that's an insecurity. It's a way of people try to hide it in a good word
Thanks.
called, you know, I just want to be under you. I just want to be around you. Yeah, that's an insecurity. Well, I mean, ain't nobody I want to be around that much all the time. You know what I'm saying?
All
Not
right.
me.
Duh.
'Cause I don't want the relationship to get too stale. You know
Right.
what I mean? I don't want to be to the point where I can't be around. You know what I mean? So I just want to have time. Just have time
You
apart.
gotta miss each other.
Yeah. You know, you
Yo,
go do your
Kev,
thing. I do my thing.
um, to what BK is talking about, I was in another live where we were talking about like issues with communication with relationships, and this is just my own standpoint is that we have too much communication, and so that creates boredom. Like if you think about it, like go back 40 years, and let's just say it's a stereotypical hetero relationship where the man goes to work and the wife is at home being a housekeeper or being a homemaker, whatever we want to call it. All right, stay at home mom, whatever. Throughout the day, guess what? The husband left at 5:30 in the morning, and he didn't get home till 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. There was a half a day where they weren't texting each other, they weren't sending each other memes, they weren't talking to each other on lunch break. There was just this natural divide of time. And then when you got home, you actually had something to discuss with each other about your day. It didn't have to just be the priority issues that came up because of stress or whatever. You could actually have a conversation with your partner when you got home because there's a whole half a day you've spent not talking every 2 seconds. So it's
Hmm.
like everything's been sped up, and it's like now you just see people suffering, their relationships are suffering from boredom. They don't got
Yep.
nothing to talk about except misery.
Hey, even with clingy relationships, right? And this is sad. I think this is sad. It's kind of truth behind it too. Eventually, it's not gonna work in the future though, because one of the two people is going to end up breaking. They're going to they're gonna get fed up and realize that I'm trying to. It's many other things I'm trying to do with my life. Why is we so why we have no time to do things on our own and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I feel like that everywhere I go, you it. You know what I'm saying? Why every time I turn, I got an extra shadow. I got two shadows now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you said breaking. Yeah, eventually it will, especially if a person have realized that this person is always under them all the time, and they don't get to do what they need to do in their life. You know what I'm saying? Because some people evolve, some people stay the same too. I mean, some people end up living that type of life, but if it's a person that's always dependent on them, that's why I think I asked a question yesterday. Do somebody depend on somebody to love them, or do somebody depend on somebody? That was my question for anybody, But I'm gonna ask
I
that.
think I think you're right. I think you're right, bro. But if you got a solid relationship, like you are gonna be going to that person like your therapist on what you're gonna be doing next, right?
especially like with me, like having a child, like you constantly have conversations on like how should we
Good looks, AJ.
reprimand this situation? How should we put this child into school? How should we do this? What's our next move? Hey, we buying a house, like what we talk about with that, right? So I think like in a solid relationship, you constantly have these best friend moments. And if you ain't in a relationship with your best friend, then I think that might be the problem. If you saying, "Oh, I gotta listen to this motherfucker again," like you got a problem in your relationship. But if you willing to listen to your partner every day about improving your life, then that's exactly what relationship you should be in. Because you guys are just talking about improvement. That's not only your wife or your lover or your husband or whatever. That's a business partner. You guys are trying to improve on a daily basis, whether it be money or whether it be children or whatever it may be, or health. You know, like, hey, we should work out more. Hey, we should try to buy a second house. We should try to have a second income. Okay, let's talk about it. Like that's your business partner and your lover at the same time. That's what you should look for. I don't think it should be something that you're back saying like, oh, this person's a burden on me, talk too much. If that's the case, you in a bad relationship.
It's not okay. That's not it.
You in
But
a bad
I think when a person,
relationship.
like I said, when a person, go ahead, BK. I thought you about to say something. Go ahead.
No, no, no.
No, I
No,
want to hear what you. I want to hear you say something because I got.
I'm, I can't respond.
So
I'm just listening. Go ahead.
okay, I think even with that, like I said, it's gonna be a point. Like I said, if some people staying stagnant and have a comfortable type life of doing that, because some people get stuff out of certain situations. The reason why some people got to bend in. 9 times out of 10, most of the time when a dude don't, some dudes don't even have backbones because they don't want to lose the access of getting buns, so they're gonna just fall for everything, right? But I think, because most of the time, I'm only saying that because most of the time it be the woman that want to talk so much to the man and all that stuff. I just need you to hear me. I need you to hear me and all this stuff, whatever. I think it was the opposite way the relationship would have broke a whole long time ago. So that's the reason why I'm saying that. But I think, like I said, when a person, it's gonna be a point where a person gonna get fed up, especially if a person is trying to grow. And then because some people actually don't like a person. They don't really like you for real. In real talk, they don't like you for real. They just putting up with you, and you're gonna be able to notice that though. That's why I be saying that. That's why I be saying like even with that. That's why I could tell when I tell people like if you put sex to the side, right? You put sex to the side. Can you think your relationship will last any longer past that? You know what I'm saying? I ask people that stuff though, because I think a lot of the time that's what's actually keeping a lot of people's relationship standing longer than it's supposed to, because a lot of people can't really stand each other. That just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's like one of the main things that's holding up. It could be a money thing. It could be some type of other, some type of other, what's the other word? Trying to think of the word. I can't think of it. Some other benefits, some other benefits from it.
I promise you.
Your voice low in the mug. I don't even know what you said at all.
I was.
Is I'm tripping? Is his voice the only one low?
Nah, he's low.
Oh, he low. Okay.
I mean,
Dang.
I think it depends on the person, right?
Hold
And
on.
like
Yeah.
what you're
Am I
looking
back
for.
now? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got one bar though.
But
Okay.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
bro. If your partner like you every day, that's a bullshit relationship. Because if you ain't trying to be a coach of my life, I don't need you in my life. You gotta tell me I'm fucking up if I'm fucking up. I don't think any successful relationship goes without somebody saying like do better. Like everybody wants to say it's all, peaches and cream and all of that shit, but it's not like that when a marriage is cracking off. You fail constantly, you win constantly. You just gotta work through that shit.
Hmm.
Go, AJ. Hey, AJ. How you doing, Kev? It's all right, Kev.
Oh, I think I'm up.
nah, you guys are good. What's good, everybody?
What's the deal, AJ?
So if we're talking about, there's a difference between being clean and just being in a relationship that you want to be in. right? If you're in a relationship you want to be in, you might want to be around that person more than usual. Now, if we're talking about like toxic, clingy people, like people who don't want to let you breathe, don't want to do anything, and are like disrupting you from everything you're trying to push for, then 9 times out of 10, then yeah, that's a different situation, right? However, I will say it does depend on the situation, right? When it comes to relationships, from what I have seen and what I have experienced, a lot of people get into relationships with people, you're right, that they don't like. Um, but also they're in the relationship not really knowing what they want out of the
Facts.
relationship. So if you're only in a relationship for
Glad you said it.
example, you know, coitus, I'm trying to not get bananaed, coitus, right? Then yeah, your relationship is only just that a lot of the time. And it's not really going to go further than that. If you're only dating somebody because, oh, well, I just want somebody to just take care of me. Well, you can have that, but if you've never built anything else, then, kind of what's the point? I know for me, I would rather be in like if I'm in any type of relationship, partnership, or anything else, I'm one looking long term because I'm a little too young or too old to be playing, the stupid game. But at the same time, I'm looking for somebody who I also want to have a friendship with, right? Like I don't want to just do relationship things, right? Like I may want to go to a haunted house and like trip you. Like that shouldn't be a problem. Like we should be able to have that type of like, playful
You
relationship,
tripping.
whatever works for you. So I think that that's the difference. I think a lot of the time when it
Yeah.
comes to clingy people, it's an insecurity thing.
All right.
But it's also because people also don't, one, spend the time to be single. People just like to jump from relationship to relationship, and I got hurt in this relationship, but I'm not going to give myself time to heal because I need to be in a relationship. So let me just go run and jump into the next thing, and then we just keep hurting each other that way. So that happens a lot. And then also people don't really sit down with themselves and have the honest conversation of what am I looking for?
Facts.
What do I want, right? Like take all the superficial stupid ish out of it, right? Take the I'm gonna use Kev's word, you getting some buns, or everything. Take all of that out of the equation and think about the person that you're actually looking for and find that person, right? It's okay to be single. You don't have to be in a relationship all the fucking time. It's fine, right? Get to
Yeah.
learn yourself and get to love yourself
Some
because you
people
can't
don't.
love somebody else if you don't love you.
All
We've
right.
all established that. But you got to have the qualities and you have to make sure that you are also honest with yourself. That's why I always say what you want from another person, make sure you can give to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Give those things to yourself first before you start jumping into relationships with people.
Mm.
That's it. If you can't give it to yourself, you can't expect another person to give you
Exactly.
that portion of it. But I did want to come up because Kev, I don't know if it's my phone, but I can't read, so I just see the be more open-minded, but what's the thing underneath it? It says people, and then like everything else on TikTok is in the way.
Oh, I got you. I got you. But I do want to finish up the other part though.
Yeah, go ahead.
People, it's people that's actually, and just like you said, if it's clingy situations, relationships, or whatever. But it is, and now from I even be observing, or even just listening to a bunch of people on this app and stuff. I believe a lot of people they in relationships with people they can't really stand for real, and they just putting up with them for a minute. Putting up with them, but they're not going to admit to their partner that they're putting
Because
up
it's
with them.
superficial. It's because it's
Yeah,
superficial. They're doing
yeah,
it for it looks good to everybody else.
yeah. Because I can tell a
Mhm.
lot. Because like if you talk to a lot of people on here, I be thinking like, dog, something is up. Like something is getting covered up. Because I think, like I said, and that's why I be trying to say, dog, a lot of these situations they only stand in tall because sex, flat out. That's just what it is, right? That's what I'm saying. Like when we that just, I don't know. It's just the reality though. But like you can be able to tell when a person is putting up with somebody or not. And a lot of relationships are out here like that. And like I said, the clingy relationships, the ones that's like that, they're not going to admit it. But it's going to get to a point. It's going to get a point in time where it's going to be the last straw. They're going to be fed. They're going to be fed up. But then you got relationships where some people put up with people for the rest of their life, but then stressed out though. That's why a lot of them don't stay alive for too long. But I mean, it is what it is. Some people can I don't know. Eventually love might take over though, but I think just depending on the stages that like a lot of people are just in relationships just to put up with somebody. And I think that you shouldn't be tired or you shouldn't be can't stand your partner or something like that. I be hearing people talking like that. I just can't stand them and all that stuff. So it's something about that. It's something behind that situation because you shouldn't be with somebody you can't stand. I understand that you gonna have moments and stuff, but it's a
I think
lot. It's a lot behind just the words though itself though.
Yeah, but a lot of people too also get into relationships trying to mend the heart of another person. You can't mend the
Mm,
heart of another person. You know what I mean? I can't get
that's true.
into a
That's true.
relationship and expect somebody
Yeah,
else
that's
to
true.
fix my heart.
oops, I did not mean
And
to invite.
many people on here and in the world do that to other people and then get jaded when it doesn't work
Facts.
because you were either trying to heal somebody else's heart or you were hoping that they'd heal yours. The only person that can heal your heart is you. That's it.
Exactly.
You said
And
if I
therefore, people
ever
use
hear
other people as
Fast.
doormats.
She fast.
It's a
if I
sense of
ever hear I'm being put up with, I'll pack my. That's why I said
yeah.
nobody gonna ever, especially a man, is not gonna tell a woman that. They're
No,
not gonna ever tell you that. That's what I'm saying. You will never hear that though.
you
But
never.
No.
you will never hear that.
And this
Nah,
comes
hold,
from a
hold up,
man. You
bro.
will
And they
never.
will lie
I
a
said
hundred
that
times
to
too.
I said
Like,
that to
no,
a
I don't
woman.
know. No. You know what I'm saying? We can
Nah, bro.
ask the
I said
questions,
that
but
to
they
a
will
woman,
never
bro.
admit that though. Never. Because they
Huh?
don't want to lose. They don't
Nah,
want
I
to
said that to
lose.
a woman, bro.
Huh?
I said that to a woman. I said that to a woman.
Mm.
She,
You ain't
we
say
were in
that
a
to your
relationship for about a year. And I told her,
But you so
yeah,
you
she came at me about the sex thing, and she was like, well, you get it all the time. Like, what's the problem? I was like, well, you get the D all the time, so we equal. So I
no
called her out on it. Because if that's all we were in the relationship for, then I didn't want to be part of the relationship. So I wanted to see where she stood at. And when I said that to her, she lost her shit.
no
She was like, yeah, but you get this. And I was like, nah, but you get that too. So where's the relationship? That's just fucking. We just fucking.
but that
That's
ain't
all that
called
is. I'm
that
just
is
I'm just saying, like, with my wife now, like, we have conversations to where, like, they're deeper than that. It's not just about like physical stuff. It's about like how we raising our child. It's about how we gonna try to get bigger in our home situation. It's about like other things. It's my friend. It's just not my fuck buddy. Like, that's simple. That's simple shit. Like, I can fuck anybody I want to. Like, what you talking about? I'm not worried about fucking. I'm worried about like progressing. How we progressing? That's
progressive
like,
standard.
if you ain't with a partner that's gonna progress you financially, physically, mentally, then what you with them for? You got to have all of it. You can't just have
some people,
one
a lot
of
of
it.
people with each other for the wrong reasons. Some people don't live with each other because they done had kids with one another. Some people only with each other because they got the nice good amount of money. A lot of people be sticking with each other for the wrong reasons that they don't want to lose it. You know what I'm saying? Until it's like the last straw where they can't handle it no more. And it just depends on the point in your life. A certain point in your life where you realize you with this person and you really don't like them for real. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. That's just the reality.
Yeah,
I stayed
I
in a
feel
marriage for 13 years, and if I'd have known my brain like I know my brain now, I'd have been gone. Because I stayed in it, you know what I mean? I stayed in it all for
That
the
too.
wrong reasons. You know what
AJ
I'm saying?
said it. Yep.
I stayed in it
lots
for
of
my
people
kids. I
be
stayed in it
alone.
for, listen. I stayed in it for listening to my parents. I stayed in it listening to my brothers. I ain't staying in it for me. I stayed in it for them. So you know what
Right.
I mean. So I went 13 years, and I wasn't happy. And then people say that I could tell her, I could tell her. No, you can't. You can sit here and tell you all day long. When you love somebody, it's hard to tell someone because you don't know how they're gonna take it. You know what I mean? And if you have a heart, if you have compassion for somebody, you'll think about it like, damn, if I say this, it's gonna hurt our feelings. I mean, we all say what we gonna say outside of the relationship, but once you get in there and you've been in it for some years, it's hard. It'll be hard to say what you really. You know what I mean?
It's
Especially
Yeah,
when
but
you don't
BK,
facts.
really know
BK,
yourself.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Especially when you
BK, I feel
know
you on that
yourself.
because every relationship that I had that failed, I did it for somebody else. I did it for my family to accept that person. I did it for like my homies to be like, oh, she a fly one, or did it for everything else. When I met my wife, I did it for myself. And until that moment, like where I actually focus on me instead of like what I'm proving to everybody in my circle, I don't think I actually have true love. You know what I'm saying? I think I did it for the accolades of everybody else in my circle.
Yeah,
But once
Hobo,
I did it for me,
everybody ain't got the balls for that, Hobo.
yeah. And
You
Hobo,
know,
I tell you, it took me a minute. It took me a minute. I went through it, and it took me a minute for me to finally say F it. You know what I mean? When I
Yeah.
had
yeah,
enough, I
yeah.
walked. You know what I'm saying? When I had enough, I had enough.
Not
I
and not
pushed.
but oh my bad.
No, you good.
I was just gonna add to it, like now that you got that mentality right, you ain't gotta worry about getting deep into a situation because you already know what you want. You know what you're
Right.
gonna put up with because you set your standards and all that stuff. But I can understand why, because she was asked earlier, why you stay so long? You should have left earlier, but you ain't had the mentality you got now. Like once
Right.
you in it, you in it. You gotta try to, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody just gonna be like, I'm got to get out. But
No.
now that you ready, you got your standards, just like me. I got my standards and all this stuff now. It's like I know what I'm putting up with and what I'm not gonna put up with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
well, I mean, I could
You
put it
know
this
who you
way.
should be with. You
Oh,
know
I'm
who you
sorry.
should be
Hold up,
with. You
BK. I mean,
should.
hold up, Mike. Let AJ
Okay,
go
my
real
bad,
quick.
my bad.
Oh, you. I was just gonna say, I was like, I mean, I've been in those situations, right? Like, we all have, right? Situations we should have left a long ass time ago, right? For me, it was a mixture of a lot of. It was a mixture of mostly my ego because I was fighting for it for so hard that I didn't want to let it go, right? Like I didn't care. I was gonna try to make it work. It didn't matter,
Hmm.
right? Again, I was younger, a little more naive, and then two, it was also the fact that I didn't want to be alone,
I'm glad you said
right? Like
that.
I was
That
just
was
lonely.
gold.
Like I was like, dude, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to
There's
be lonely.
too many
And
people like that.
and so many people do that. And the thing is that another aspect of it too, a lot of people get into relationships that have no business being in relationships right now.
Hey, don't do them like that.
Like that's just kind of where it's at. Like
Talk to him.
not
Talk to him.
everybody needs to be in like you don't have to be in a relationship 24 hours a day. Not everybody is, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to go through your seasons by yourself. But the more you keep trying to find somebody, jump into relationship after relationship, you know what I mean? Being in these nothing relationships, because let's be real, that's really what they are. They're nothing relationships because you're not getting anything out of them other than heartbreak, headache, and a lot of stress that was completely unneeded. They're
AJ, speak on this.
distractions.
AJ, speak
They're
on this
distractions.
for me. Speak
What's
on
up?
this for me. The person that loves you the most will tell you that you ain't shit because they know what you
Mm,
are capable of. My wife does this to me pretty consistently, and I didn't get it at the beginning of our relationship. The reason why
Do
she
you do it to
hates
her?
no, the reason
mm-mm.
why she gets mad at me is because I'm not doing enough because she knows what my potential is. And she'll explain that to me. So she'll be like, I'm not upset at you because I think you ain't shit. I think you're the shit. And I'm mad you ain't accomplishing more.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, no,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
so to
not like she
speak,
doesn't say that to me. She doesn't say that to me, but I get her perspective on like I'm mad at you because I know what you're capable of. Don't give up on yourself because if you give up on yourself, then why am I with you?
so
Like,
to,
'cause I'm
to
with you because you're a confident individual. I'm with you because I know what you're capable of. Don't give up on yourself. And she pushes me to be bigger and better every day. And I think people miss out on that to where their partner is like, it's idea is the actual person because my
yeah, so
partner,
I will say, I will say to answer that, it's going to be a mixture, because it does depend, especially amongst men and women, right? We need different things to motivate us, right? You can't motivate me the same way you would motivate a guy. It's not going to be the same motivation, because we think very differently. What motivates us is going to be very different. But for the most part, yeah, like, when you're with somebody who truly
the way
actually
that
gives a
she's
shit
doing
about
it
you,
to
they're not
me.
afraid. Well, hold on, but they're not
Oh,
afraid
my
to
bad,
just
my
be
bad.
honest with you. No, you're good. They're not afraid to be honest with you. So when you're not reaching your potential, they have no problem calling that out. They have no problem telling you, the truth about things. Most people who, and it
So
wouldn't say that
she
they don't
knows
care
me
about you
personally.
or love you. It's
Yeah,
just,
she
yeah,
knows
she
me
knows you.
personally. So she's
Yeah,
like, I know I can do this to you to push you to be better, but maybe other people can't take it the same way.
but I
Like she
will
just knows
say,
that's who I am.
yeah, but I will say that people do need to be careful with that as well, because I did this a lot when I was younger because I didn't know any better, where I would get into relationships based on the potential of the other person, which
Mm,
isn't fair to them, right? Because now I have these expectations because oh, I see potential in you, but that may not be where that person wants to go. And it's not fair to that person. It's actually a
makes
very
sense.
toxic thing to do. And not a lot of people quite understand that. So like I've had a lot of like, my girlfriends, my straight girlfriends or whatever, date these dudes because, oh well, he has such potential, but then it ends up blowing back in their face because you're not
Well,
allowing that
that's
person
on
to
that
be who
person.
they want to be. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's a
But
catch 22 with that mindset, but I have to draw that
I,
because a
I
lot of
get you.
people
I get you
misconstrue
on
it.
what you're saying. I get you on what you're
Yeah.
saying. So, like, if you like fashion, I'm not like I might push you towards fashion, but if you don't do it, but then all of a sudden you come to me and say, "Yo, I got this scholarship I want to do for whatever job it may be," and you push towards it. All I'm doing as a partner is saying, all I want you to do is grab onto something and run with it. I know you're capable. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think what people try to do is say, oh, you wanted to be a rapper. If you look at all my videos, it's just rapping videos, right? Oh, you wanted to be a rapper, you're not a rapper, so I'm gonna fail with you. Nah, I think you're progressive. I think you're trying to do things to try to move forward. And all I'm saying is that if you don't at least try something, it doesn't have to be what I tell you to do. It doesn't have to be what anybody else tells you to do. But if you decide to do something and you try, I'm down for trying all day long. What I'm not down for is giving up. And I think that's what my wife is kind of instilled in me, is that she looks at me and say, I don't care how many jobs you take on. I just want you to try. Because I promise you, if you give up, I'm gonna give up on you. And that's just an idea that I think she's never said that to me, but that's what I feel like. If I ever let down something, if I never not try, that I can't say my wife doesn't have an opportunity to be like, you stop trying. That's why I'm walking away. And I think a lot of wives and a lot of husbands do in relationships based on that, or girlfriends and boyfriends, is because somebody stops trying.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Like
let
even if it's little shit. Like
yeah, 'cause I gotta get off in a minute. I'm gonna let Hobo go, then VO can close us out. Cause I see she raised her hand.
Well, that last part, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. People stop trying at some point, and it's sad. But I wanted to get on to speak to what AJ was talking about because I had a really bad habit of doing that when I was younger. I like ambition was my type. Like if you had ambition, I was like, oh my goodness, oh wow, look, oh I'm gonna help him get. And it took me so long to realize that drive and ambition are two completely different things, and for me personally, they have to coincide within the same person. Like you have to have drive and ambition, otherwise I'm pushing you and you're not doing anything, and that's not beneficial to anybody.
I get it.
That's all.
I get it. That makes sense. VO, my brother, what's the deal, man?
What up? My take is relationships isn't for everybody because everybody isn't for a relationship. If you selfish, relationships ain't for you. Another
Facts.
thing is, I don't think you could achieve true love without the hardship. Like some people are cowards, and when the relationship gets hard, they run away from it. Like one of my favorite songs Mooski made, he was like, she run from all of her problems like she in shape for it. Like he basically was saying like women are track stars. Like they be running from their problems when it gets hard. Like, and they don't want to take accountability. They can't get scarred. And she
Mm.
against anybody who gonna get involved. So it's like it's tough, man. But if you really love a woman you with, if she's really worth it, then as a man, you have to be the bigger person and like some way coddle your woman. Because if you love her, she really like do what she gotta do for you, then you should overlook that little attitude. It ain't the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It depends on what she offering you. But I think a lot
Yeah,
of
but
people, and it
in
got to
my
be
case, I get
something
everything I
important too.
need, so I put up with it because the good outweighs the bad with me.
So I'm
Okay.
good.
Yeah, yeah. Because some people just do that, and like I'm making sure I ain't losing my buns I'm getting. Or something. It'd be like some stuff that that ain't been long lasting. Otherwise, they still don't like the person and stuff. So I would say put up if they really a good person, they got more to offer and all that stuff. Of course, you can put up with a few things or whatever until they finally work on it. But y'all still want to be in a relationship where you can grow.
And also, you can't allow yourself to stop craving your partner. Like, you know
Facts.
that honeymoon phase when you just crave your partner so much, you
Facts.
cannot let that die, or the relationship is going to die. And that's up
Yep.
to the person. You could choose to
Mhm.
see your partner like they brand new, or be like, you know what, I think I want something else. Like, that's your mindset.
I just want to say one last thing before I dip. I believe that there is a person out there for everybody, and for some people, that person is a psychologist.
It was a twist. Caught me on guard. I was I was
Yo,
I was so ready to disagree
bro,
almost. That's why you got to
I'm not
listen
even
to
laughing at that.
understand. Because I was
I'm
about
not
to
even
listen to
laughing at
respond. I was
that.
about to mess my own last part of the topic. Go like, what? That's why you
Yo, I'm
listen
not
to
even laughing
understand.
at
That was a good one. Then she go drop the mic and which that was nice.
Yo,
What
son.
a wonderful way
That was
to end the night,
crazy,
man.
bro.
What a
That was money. Hey, that was money, bro. That was money. You
uh,
know what? I mean, but what she said is true. Like, what I want you to do in anybody's relationship, if I could just be a friend to anybody, is to say, um, make
dog,
sure
that
you
might make it on my
understand what you
page. I'm
want.
putting this on my page. That was funny.
Make sure you understand what you want before you go bring somebody into your life, right? So when I met my wife, I told her, I said, I don't even know why I'm on this dating website or whatever, and she said, I don't know either. And I said, well, I want a wife and I want children and I want that, this, and the other, right? I said it right off the bat. He said I accepted that. So if you just trying to play the game to where you got a pretty looking lady on your arm or a pretty looking man on your arm, if that's your only outcome of your relationship, I promise it's gonna fail every
It's
time.
gonna fail. So
But
yeah,
if
that's
you
what I
look
said.
at
It depends on the intentions behind it and what you putting up with. Gotta bring them right. Yeah, I'm for sure might post that. That was funny though. That's getting posted. Can't
yeah,
wait to
that
get to
was
that
that was
last part. That was funny.
hilarious, bro. Yeah, that was hilarious, bro.
Cause I was about
Yo,
to
but
mess
but
my
if
own
you
situation.
come
I was about to
into it.
listen to respond that fast. It just toned out instantly. What?
But
That was
bro, like, but laugh like if you was my homie, if you was my boy, like just like my boy that I have, who's
yeah,
my, the godfather to my child. You know what I'm saying? Like you
yeah.
got to go into this with like, this is what I'm committed to. This is the family I'm not gonna break up. This is what I want. And if you don't go into a relationship like that, if you worried about what you think of my girl or what I think of your girl or what have you, it's just not gonna end right. You just gotta walk in making sure,
I
like,
got
you
you.
know what? Fuck y'all. Every time I believed in you, every relationship failed. The moment that I believed in myself, my relationship is solid. My wedding ring is still on my finger. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let other people's influence become part of your shit. And I see it when my wife looks at me when I'm taking care of our daughter's homework. I see
Hmm.
my wife look at me like that's the man I married. I see that,
Right.
and it means so much, bro. Like, make sure that it's important to you, and if it's not important to you, just let it go because you're just wasting people's time.
Yeah. But all right, I'm about to head out though. Everybody popping in. That's funny. A few people popping
Everybody,
in now. I'll
man,
check it out. What happened? Your turn to stop.
I really
So,
validation as far as good enough. Appreciate you, bro.
yeah, your junk got just why your lag right at the end though. But yeah, I heard you though. I think I heard the last part at least. But I'll catch you. I'm gonna be on tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna be on a little and longer and stuff 'cause it's the weekend. But yeah, I gotta do my last part of my 50 hours, get these 56 hours now to end the week. But I catch y'all, man. I appreciate all y'all, man, and I see y'all, man.